Life's stressful. I was just, I was really doing my chest. Everything's just furry. And I'm like, all right, tired of this. So I get in the shower. I'm shaving. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shave the balls and I'm going hard. So I get everything down to a slick. I even go against the grain.
Oh my God!
Just on some parts to get it like baby.
That hurts a little bit.
It sucks. Yeah. It gets
yeah.
Let me out. Let me out of here. Get me the hell out of here.
This girl, I used to hook up with her. Well, anyways, we kind of fell out of touch. She's a little weird anyway. And I had these two girls lined up. The both girls canceled on me. So she shows up and she has gained like 80 pounds.
She gets up and you're like, here, put the Spider-Man mask on. I've always had a real kink for this.
I love Spider-Man. Yeah, you take it, Spider-Man. See, and they already doing it to me right now in the chat. I see it. Where is it at? Look, it's in Enrico. It says, you like swamp. No, that's not what I'm saying, you motherfucker. I'm saying a little. That would be in Vegas right now getting shot on by like 9 dudes. Here's like, for like $2,000, bro. Let's go.
Let's do it.
You gonna on me? What the fuck is going on?
I'd be going crazy. I'd have an OnlyFans because your boy wants a Ferrari. I don't know how I get it. That intro was made before I had a supercar.
And now, wait. Would you rather have the supercar that you have now or the Ferrari? That's my question.
Yeah, Ferrari. Look, dude,
all right, Cody, spread those cheeks. Let's go. Start that OnlyFans.
$80,000 is way different than 140. It's a lot different.
It is a lot different. That's why I'm saying start that OnlyFans.
We'll finance that shit. You're gonna be like, yeah, 1,000,000% interest. You're like, all right, cool. It's gonna be more than a freaking house payment. No, but it's been good. Welcome everybody to the show. I hope you guys are ready. We have Nick Rekieta joining in a little bit. You know how he is. He likes to be fashionably gay and late. So look forward to that. And also, we have Zia Land, the co-host, of course. We're talking about a lot of spicy stuff today. And if we hit goals, we'll take our boobies out and it'll be a great show. So we're up against it and we're having a good time. 220, technically 223rd next night. Maybe. We'll see. So real quick, let us give a shout out and then we'll give you the subject matter of the show. You know who that's for. Billy Hatcher, my man. We've already started the ship. Oh my God. That wasn't even for you boobs. He does that for me on my shows too.
That's so nice.
What? Being shitty to you.
Oh, that wasn't for
so
my boobs.
Nice.
It's just nice of Billy Hatcher. He's a nice lad.
They don't even care about me. It's so nice. Thank you, Billy. I love you. He's the first one. He's coming in strong. His penis, massive. Zaid Comic says, what's up, brother? Cheers to the Camel Crew. Thank you, Zaid. How you doing? Mr. Phil, hope you're doing well. I hope I see you sometime this year. I'm sure, or next year. I'm sure I will. So thank you guys so much for joining. Today, we're talking about the travesty. Everybody says, Wicked Raid, Wicked Virtue. You tell her I love her. I'll send her a link, too. It'll be fun. She's great. I don't think she'll take her boobs out, though. But it's fine.
But you know what? Her face is pretty enough. She doesn't even need to.
She has a great face.
She doesn't even need to take her boobs out because her face is too pretty. I have to take my boobs out.
No, your face is fine. No, but like, no, I don't like glasses though, man. Like, there's something about it.
Don't like glasses? You're like the first nerdy guy I've ever met who doesn't like glasses.
What who you call nerdy? What the fuck?
You're nerdy.
No. Also, glasses. I don't know that they make you look like a librarian, and nobody wants to have sex with a librarian. I'm sorry.
Really? I would. One of my first boyfriends when I was like, I don't know, 14 or 15, worked at the library. His name was Justin. I thought he was so cute, and he wore glasses, and he stocked the shelves, and I had a real lady boner for him.
That was like 30 years ago, and also guys and women are different. Like when I was in school, my like librarian was like 400 pounds.
Okay, but if you saw a hot librarian who was like, tight little package, nice ass, some perky little titties, glasses on, real cute face.
No. Take the glasses off.
No. Okay, so just as long as you have glasses, then
that's the kicker. It's like like an Asian lady, like her face. It's the same thing.
Wait. Are you telling me you don't like Asian lady faces? Is that what you're saying to me right now, Cody?
Look, I can't. It's a preference. I just can't help it.
Okay, look. People have preferences. I'm not knocking you for that, but that is one of the weirdest ones I have ever heard.
Yeah, Asians have faces. Yeah, I like it.
Okay. That's like the opposite of flirting. Your face. I don't like it.
You gotta change this shit right now. Okay. No.
That's when Cody breaks out the masks and the paper bags.
Oh, that's what it's all about. Cajun Corey, how you doing? Also, people on Rumble. Cajun Corey. Oh man. People on Rumble, I love you. I see you guys, old geezer, all you people on Rumble. I see you guys on Locals, Rock City, Outlaw, Snafu, and Fire PA says Cody's turned off by intelligence. That's why I like Nick and Zia so much.
Explains so much.
Yeah,
that's why he keeps us around, because we're just dummies.
Can we talk about what happened before the show? How you couldn't hear me, and it's because you didn't have the thing plugged in the whole time.
I didn't plug in my headphones. I thought I did. Apparently, I did not. I was getting everything ready. But I didn't know if my settings were off on my thing. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like, you should clip your streams and put them up, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. It's not happening.
Yeah, but that's not because. You know what? Don't get me started.
That's not because. I'm saying, could you do it if you had to?
Yeah, if I had to.
I feel like you're fucking with me.
What?
just hire a Mexican to do it. That's what I did.
Really? Where'd you get the Mexican?
I don't know. There was a Mexican guy, and he messaged me, and he's like, hey, you want me to clip your streams? And I'm like, yeah, dude. And then that's what we've been doing for like a year.
Are there any Mexicans that would like to message me about clipping streams?
4,900 pesos. It's worth it.
I don't know how many dollars that is, but it sounds reasonable.
It's very reasonable.
So I can't help but notice, before we were also talking about how you said today you haven't eaten all day and you're super hungover because you got really drunk last night. Yes, Cody, you haven't eaten anything. And and I see now that you're drinking a White Claw. Are we saying fuck food and just skipping right to more booze?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like what? Might as well. Fuck it.
Drink it for me. My alcoholic is coming out and I'm missing it.
How would it even be in the realm of possibility for it to come out? It's been too long.
No, it comes out all the time. Trust me. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, I remember when you used to be a raging alcoholic and it was like super fun, but then your life almost started falling apart. And that's the part that keeps me from going back to it.
That's when you say that it's everyone else and not you.
That's everyone else's problem. It's not me. It's not the fact that I drove my car into a ditch. It's you fuckers.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. So welcome to the show, everybody. It's Camel Thoughts number 3 with Zia Land. We're talking about the Robin Hood debacle today. So there was a TV show called Robin Hood that came out. I watched a bunch of scenes from it, and it is atrocious. But of course, the director of the TV show is responding to criticism, calling everyone just racist because they don't like it.
Is it Robin Hood or Robin in the Hood?
It's Robin Hood, but it's spelled with a Y.
I know. It was a joke. God damn it.
And look, your joke's terrible. And also, like, the issue is like, you get, if you have the free, like, get out of criticism and jail card, I probably would use the shit too. I can't really lie. But that being said, the criticism is well-founded. It's a terrible show. And pretty much the entire, we're going to go through articles about it, but the entire premise of the show is like, there's these, I guess, like these like city kids, and they just go and like rob people, and then they get caught, and then they get angry, and it makes all the cops look like they're the evil people. It's really weird. It's pretty much like everybody in Hollywood's and Netflix's like wet dream when they talk about anything that has to do with like actual America. Mm-hmm. It's like when there's like somebody of Hispanic like heritage. Of course, they're not in the last 4 generations, but they're like, oh yeah, I'm Hispanic. My great grandmother was Hispanic, so that means I'm Hispanic. And they're writing on a show. When they write a show that takes place in like the South United States, like Southeast, like it's like 2023 in the TV show, except everybody's getting like, it's like over the top racist. And I'm like, that doesn't exist in actual rural America. There is no one here that like goes up to like a Mexican and says a racial slur. That's not a thing here.
I've literally look, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen because I guess it must, but I've never in my life seen that happen like out in the wild before.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering how often it actually does happen. Because I believe that it does, but I'm just curious how often.
You can only use FBI statistics to gauge what actually things are like in certain parts of the US. I mean, there is, other than that, it's just like hearsay, right? So, but that's kind of irrelevant anyway. But what I'm saying is, the Southeast is pretty much like a melting pot. It's like the most diverse part of the US.
Yeah.
And you know, it just happens to be the poorest part of the US as well. And I don't know why, but it's like these people live together. You would think actually it would actually be of higher frequency, but if you look at the FBI statistics, the Southeast is actually the least amount of hate crime like occurrence in the entire United States. Of course, California is the worst by a fucking mile, of course. But like Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, these kind of things don't happen as much as Netflix and stuff would like us to believe. I've told this story before, and I'll tell it very, very quickly. I have a Hispanic friend that wanted to move to the South because living in California is so expensive. Mm-hmm. And they were like, man, I really want to move somewhere. And I was like, well, Alabama's actually really nice. This is back before property taxes went up times 1 billion. But I was like, Alabama's pretty nice. It's actually really, really affordable. And they were like, yeah, but like I'm Hispanic and I go there, I'll get killed. And I'm like, are you retarded? Like, have you been watching like TV? Like only by that one guy that makes horror movies about how white people are evil? Like, what is that guy's name? I always forget. He makes like all those horror movies, like Get Out and all these movies.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, like it just so happens that all the scary people in the show are just like white people in like shadows, and they're like, oh, white people. Oh, like, I haven't watched them, but like when I watch the trailers, it always seems like
it's just white people haunting.
This nice articulate black man is just coming to the country for the first time ever, and then like all the people are just like evil and white. What are you doing here? We don't allow. Like, do you know Birmingham is like 94% black? Right? It's like, no, fuck it, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We're gonna ignore that.
Yeah, I was gonna say through the South, I feel like there are a lot of black people, so it's not like they're never seen. You know what I mean? It's pretty commonplace.
Look, when it's nighttime, you can't really see them. But like I'm saying, look. I have one black friend. I can make that joke. No, not really. I'm not like Nick. I have at least 2. No, but no, dude. Yeah, it's my entire gym is like probably 60% black, 35% white, and then 5% Hispanic, with the occasional Asian man. And it's great. Like everybody's super fucking cool, man. So no one's at each other's throats. I guess it's because there's nothing in the media, in our own local governments that really push that shit. You know, like everybody's just really cool.
I think that like outside of cities, it seems like people just kind of live their life. Mm-hmm. Like I heard a lot about that and saw a lot of that when I lived in LA because it's pushed so hard. You're right. Like it's pushed. The narrative is pushed constantly. People are constantly talking about it, hearing about it. There are so many activists. I never see activists in small towns. Whenever you go to a small town, everybody's just like, yeah, we're trying to work to make ends meet. We're not thinking about that. We all get along. This is really not a big deal. But in cities, there's so much contention and there's so much, this side does this and this side does that. And it's so ridiculous. It's funny, actually, when Nick, my husband, when he drove from, because when he first moved to California, because that's where we met, he drove from Brooklyn. That's where he's from originally. And he has a very diverse group of friends because he's from Brooklyn. So he's Italian. He has a black Muslim friend. He has a couple of different Hispanic friends of various different kinds of, I don't know which. And then he's got Dennis, who's Asian. He's Chinese. And so it's like a very diverse group. And I think the people that drove across with him, it was Hussein, who's black and Muslim. And then it was like Johnny and I don't know, a couple different Hispanic ones. I think Cruz is, I forget where he's from. Anyway, the point is, I think they were a little bit worried because they took the South route. So they drove across the South and they had sort of those initial thoughts of like, is this going to be weird if we drive and you pull into a small town and we have this giant black man with us? Said no issues. Everybody was so nice. The whole drive through, everywhere they stopped, everywhere they ate, they were like, nothing, no problems, no looks.
Wazia, it's because life isn't Netflix.
No.
Like dude, I've traveled. My friend Chris is black as hell. We've traveled. We'll go to eat at a diner where literally everyone working there has no teeth, and they could not be happier and more hospitality. Like they're like, "How you doing, darling? What you want?" They don't care, right?
Right.
They don't care. And but that's the issue is when you go to places like California, that it's drilled into your head. Like, and it's crazy because I have friends that move to California for some reason, and they immediately, like, their entire personality becomes like socially political. And I'm like, you were never like this. What the fuck happened? And they're like, yeah, it's just because you like to ignore the struggles. And I'm like, you are white. Shut your mouth. What do you mean? No, you don't have.
So funny.
This white women savior complex needs to end. White women, what is wrong with you? Damn it, Mom.
I'm sorry for my people.
No, you're Hawaiian. You only kind of want to save people.
I look white though, so I feel like I'm white passing. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like the opposite thing happened to me when I moved to LA. I got so fucking irritated by the whole thing. I was just like, ugh, shut up. Just all of you shut up. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Look, Zia. Well, you grew up where I grew up. I grew up in the trailer park, right?
Yeah.
Every other like girl that was like 16 to 17, right, in the trailer park when I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I was 13,
mm-hmm.
all these redneck men that were redneck and they were like the fathers and the grandfathers, there was like 9 mixed like children running around the trailer park because it's the trailer park, right? So like, yeah. And they didn't. I've seen redneck men with rebel flags on their back, motorcycles with a little mixed kid on their shoulders walking around. They don't
happy as can be. They're like my grandbaby.
Look, obviously some people do, but I'm saying the higher quantities you will see that is in actual places where all they talk about is social justice. And that's going to be New York and California. Otherwise, no one gives a fuck. They're trying to live their lives because, like you said, they are more worried about paying their goddamn bills than they're worried about what's going on in California, what's going on in Ukraine. If somebody said something that might be misconstrued as racist in Ontario, no one gives a fuck. We're just trying to live our lives. And that's what we're trying to do right now, especially this brew in the chat saying the bad guy in the Robin Hood show is the guy whose car gets stolen.
Oh, God. I was wondering that. They paint all the people who are rich as the bad guys, right?
Yeah, I'm now a bad guy. I would have my R8 parked on the curb. Somebody would jump in it and take the fuck off.
And be like, he deserved this.
Point the camera at me, and they'd be like, don't you react poorly. I'll be like, they took. You know how long it took me to save up for that car? And they're like, don't react poorly. I'm like, but I'm sad.
I worked so hard for it. You got it because of your privilege.
That's the issue is people see that. Like, so like people here that know me, they don't, it's not like that. But there's a lot of people that are engineered by school, by media to see someone driving like a supercar or see somebody driving like a Corvette or what you would, an Audi, like RS4 or whatever, like just a nicer, kind of nice car. And they see that and they immediately think that person is shitty and didn't earn that. And I'm like, in most situations they did. Like the amount of people that are born like violently rich is actually very small. And I didn't leave the trailer park until I was 20. And people probably think that about me when I'm driving down the road when I'm out of state. And that's that's a big issue. Like this Bruce said, those people that are writing this show, what doesn't matter what their race is. It's usually white women. Let's be fair. They think people that work really hard and try to make a better life for their children, their family, and, try to do whatever it takes to be successful. Those are just bad people because they don't wait for the government to do it for them. Fuck the government. How can you not trust the government, but also you're waiting for them to give you shit? That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And also, can we please, for the love of God, have some less government? I don't understand this call for more government. And get rid of, don't even get me started on taxes. Every once in a while I'll see a thing and it's just like, oh boy, because you get income tax, right? Yep. You get state and federal income tax. Then you get property taxes. Yep. Then you get tax on stuff you buy on money that was already taxed. Yep. And then if you get an inheritance, you're taxed on that. Plus it was already taxed when whoever had the money originally made the money. Like the taxes are out of fucking control. Yeah. We have let things get out of control. And the fact that this is still happening is insane. Like look, I don't fight for a lot of causes, but I would take up arms for that because I know how much money I pay in taxes and it's fucking insane. Like it's wild.
You're tiny. You would do nothing with the arm.
I would do absolutely nothing.
You should just not, I'll do it. Or pay a Guatemalan to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not dying. No, but I think abolish the IRS 100%. Like it is a trash bag, dude. The Alabama Department of Revenue. I get a letter. My property taxes, which were $660 in 2014. Keep in mind they were, I think, $700 or $800 in 2019.
Okay, that's
right.
Not
they
terrible,
went up to 1,600 in 2021, 3,600 in 2022, and I got a letter like a week ago, $7,900 property taxes. They went up like 5,000%.
I would be furious.
What can I do?
Yeah, because if you don't pay it, they'll take your house away. Oh,
it sucks, man. It really, really sucks, and ain't nothing we can do about it. And then I remember growing up, dude. And my parents were paying taxes. They were like having to pay in, and they made nothing. And I would get like a $600, tax return when I worked at like the grocery store when I was 16.
Yeah.
And my friend, his mom, she had like 2 kids or 3 kids. She got like 12 grand. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I want 12 grand. And she would always spend it all in like 2 days. She'd buy a brand new car. It'd get repossessed in a month. She'd do all. I'm like, I don't know. It just, you know what? See, I hate poor people. That's what it is.
But you were poor.
Yeah, hate them. Fat people, poor people, and anybody that's not at least as light as me. Hate them.
we just went from like, I have Hispanic friends, I have black friends. Ain't nobody care about that to if you ain't as white as me. The accent's
you are
not
poor,
Cody.
Zia, if you are poor, fat, and have an Asian lady face, it's over.
It's done. You would never date a poor, fat Asian lady.
Immediately assaulting. I'm going to jail. Assault you. You don't even come near me.
Walk up and Cody's bashing this poor fat Asian chick with a stick. Oh, that's so mean.
I swear to God. No, anyways, so where am I? I got some super. Let me hit these super chats after making my funny racist joke. Look, racist jokes are the funnest ones. Come on.
They're always the best.
Have you seen my live comedy act that I've done once ever?
It was no, but one day.
It was just racism. And the crowd loved it.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Was it in the South?
Yeah, it was in Nashville.
We're like, the South is super tolerant.
Yeah,
they're not actually racist. They do
no,
racist
everybody
jokes,
in the crowd was of different colors.
No, I know. I'm just joking. Yep.
Mark Reality says, Wicked, Disparu, and X-Ray off the air. They are so drunk. Also, Wicked is Italian. Pretty sure about that. She loves the spaghetti. She looks pretty Italian. She looks like she's from like... Yeah, she looks like she'd be married to like a mobster and really angry that he keeps coming home with hookers and coke.
Or he's like always out with his Gumar, and she's like, "Fuck you."
Gumar. I need one of them.
Gumar. Yeah. Can I have a Gumar? Is that a thing?
Yeah, give me some Gumars. Or is that is that a food?
No, Gumar is the side chick. It's the girlfriend.
What is the gooblaga?
Gabagool. Gabagool.
Oh my God, dude! I watched the Sopranos for the first time like last
amazing.
Year.
Oh my God, me too. Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was perfect.
So fantastic.
Perfect.
Such a good show.
Every single scene, dude. And I'm like, man, I want to be like Tony. Like, I want to be able to just like a black kid comes to my house. I'm like, what are you doing here, man? Look at you. Look at me.
That's right. I forgot that Meadow's boyfriend.
He's so racist. And
he's so racist.
He's like, I'm Italian, man. What are you doing? Get out of here. It's like just the rule. You don't like black people when you're Italian.
I think that show, because I didn't realize my love for Italian men really, and then I watched that show, and then I think I came out of that show being like, yeah.
Gabagool. Oh my God, what a great show. Kayla says, happy to see you're okay after the accident. Thank you, my friend. We're racing again next weekend, Carteret County, North Carolina. I'll be racing in a new car, a non-destroyed one, with new sponsors. Rekieta Law is going to be on the hood. On the quarter panels will be Toganizer. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're in that area, come see me race next Saturday night, Carteret County.
I got very dramatic when Cody told me that he was racing again, because I was like, you almost died once. I was feeling the dramatics, and just please don't crash.
Really forget about it. No, if I die, like, so the goal is to retire one day or die. That's the whole goal.
So you just either, if you're not going to retire, you're just going to die.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would die first before retiring. So Marrero says, my favorite beautiful person, and hi to Zia as well. Thank you, my daughter. I appreciate you, my friend. Billy Hatcher says, I got my new phone today. It's a Galaxy Fold. Hell yeah, and it's nice. Also, I like Zia too. She's a nice person and more generous. You know what that red like to me? You ever seen The Water Boy?
Yes.
He's like, I like football and I like school. And then he like leaves the room and then he opens the camera again. And he's like, and I like Mickey Valancourt. She showed me her boobies and I like them too. And then he slams the
Yeah.
She showed me her boobies and I like them too. And it didn't show it. Like, damn. You know what? Damn.
Oh yeah, that's right. They don't show that. And you know, that was a 90s movie. They should have showed boobies.
Adam Sandler, how could you? I would have loved to see that chick's boobies.
Have you ever seen Hubie Halloween?
Hubie?
Yeah.
No.
I love that movie.
Is it spooky?
No, it's just funny. It's just fun. It's great. It's a great Halloween movie.
So Nick can watch it. It's not spooky.
Yeah, we watched it together.
Okay, good. At least there's that. He can watch Disney movies.
I just finished rewatching Haunting of Hill House. You got me all excited about that.
Ooh.
Finished the whole show. Fantastic. And I just watched Insidious 1 and Insidious 2, which I had never seen before.
Yeah, dude, they're great, man. Oh my god, they're so great.
I really like them. I don't like the second one as much as I like the first one, but the first one is great. It was good, just not as good as the first one.
The second one was kind of like the first one, but they just kept going. It's kind of like you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of not in any way, shape, or form other than how the story is laid out. A Quiet Place.
Oh, okay.
Right? Quiet Place.
Yeah. With the way the first one and the second one
they just
go
into
each other.
Yeah, the second one is literally them running from the house. Like, it's beautiful. It's great.
I really liked both of those movies too.
But then of course they meet the guy and he looks at the little deaf girl and he's like, "Hey, I got an idea." And I'm like, "Why does this always have to happen? Why is he got to try to bang everybody? Why is everybody trying to bang the little girl?"
Wait, who's trying to bang the little girl? I don't remember that.
Now I might be thinking of a different movie, but I'm pretty sure there's like a scene where like they're needing a guy's help and he like insinuates that he was going to take the daughter as payment. And I'm like, what is this? 1942? We don't take the daughter? Come on.
Hollywood.
Take the son. Matthew Self says, "Good evening. I think I just saved a couple marriages tonight. Feel good to talk them off the edge from dumb arguments. I used Racket's line, you have to wake up and choose to love your person." That actually worked. That's true. People think.
Hi, Matthew Self.
Well, it's the relationship hour now. Matt, people think you're always going to be in the butterfly stage. And if you're not, you have to recapture it. You always have to recapture it. That's not how it is. Relationships change, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, you'll have the butterfly like area. And by the way, what causes butterflies? Anxiety. Why do you want
it's anxiety, but I also think it's just the novelty of it because it's a new person. You've never touched this person before. They've never touched you. It's exciting, but yes, also there is anxiety. That's true. People want to recapture that feeling, but you can't. But you have to learn to, like Nick says, wake up and choose to love your person because it's not always easy, man. And you're not always going to be super happy. And during those times when you're not super happy, you got to fucking push through, man. You know what I'm saying? And you're not always even going to necessarily like that person in that moment, but you have to. I think the big thing is you have to have respect for them. That's like the biggest thing. If you don't have respect for the person that you're with, then I think it's over.
That's for damn sure. Damn sure. Don't take him for granted. Matt, I love you. I appreciate you. And I appreciate the first orange boy of the stream, one red boy from a rainbow night already. And we are 350. No, the goal's different on this show. I forgot. We are 850 from Naked Snake and Naked Zia goal. I forget these things. Fire PA says, speaking of activists, the one in Brooklyn who got stabbed is literally a meme. Girlfriend just stood there as a boyfriend bled to death. Yeah.
She didn't look like I'd be freaking the fuck out. She did not look concerned. She just kind of stood there and looked at him. Like, did she not understand what was happening? Did she not see that he got stabbed? Like, I'm so confused by her reaction. Maybe she was in shock. I don't know. But like, holy crap, dude.
It's wild. It's wild. Wild as hell. Fire PA, I love you. Mark Reality says, we live in a democracy where 80% of people want the IRS to disappear. There are better ways to raise money than income taxes, better ways to collect than the IRS. Yeah, so Mark Reality, apply that to almost anything. For example, 95% of people, 5% is a lot, by the way, but 95% of people are not okay with children being operated on for assignment surgery or whatever the hell you want to call it. Like 95% of people are not okay with that in the country.
Yeah, it's insane.
But
that's why
5% is a lot more than you think. And there's people pushing for it. 80% of people don't want the IRS to exist. 18% of people approve of Congress. Over 80% of people, maybe more, want term limits. Over 90% of people think that Congress shouldn't be allowed to even kind of be involved in stocks. But you know what I'm saying? But what do? They don't do anything about it. They just continue to put their fingers in their ears and go, "Oh, why people are racist? black people marginalized. They don't need IDs. And you're like, and then it just goes back to that always. It always goes back to some bullshit.
I feel like we never focus on the things that we should actually be focusing on. Like, where are the activist groups for abolishing the IRS? Because that I could get behind.
Same.
I'm down for that.
Dude, and their entire goal is to just pit people against each other. That is the entire political spectrum, is pit people against each other. I have literally seen comment sections, man, where there are people saying, oh, well, there's places in Tennessee where there's still sundown towns. And I'm like, sundown towns have not existed since at least the 60s. You are fucking crazy. There is not a thing like that exists in the South. It is illegal to kill people.
Yeah.
That is not a
it doesn't just go away.
Like people there are actual people that think like there's this town like an hour and a half from me called Ballplay, Alabama. And I remember being a small kid and people like complaining, like, or saying that it was a sundown town. And what that means roughly, now look, I'm not hip to the culture, but I'm pretty sure what a sundown town means is if you're a black guy and you go into this area and like no one knows who you are and stuff, that they'll just kill you, like lynch you. And I'm like, that's not a thing. Like an actual person being lynched, like the actual word and meaning behind lynch has probably not happened in like 45 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Which isn't a long time. I understand. Like, that's not that long ago.
It's not a long time. And
it's not long ago at all.
It's an abhorrent thing, and it wasn't that long ago. But people act like that's still a thing. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not a fucking thing. If you want the highest percentage of hate crime you're going to experience is going to be in California. SoCal. Get on it, doggone it. Have fun.
I can see that. I can see
place
that.
That's supposed to be the greatest. Anyways, thank you, Marco Reality. I appreciate you. Hef says those who are dependent on the government are dragged down with it when it fails. 100%. I agree with that. A Hef. Thank you, my friend. Wicked Virtue, my girl. How you doing? Super sticker. Look at her. Look how beautiful she is. But she has glasses on, but it's fine.
You and your glasses. You and your glasses, Cody.
Ball play, yes, sir. Ball play, Alabama. Thank you, Wicked Virtue. Marrero says Nick is gay and takes forever. We got Zia. We need rackets for. Yeah, rackets. Anybody waiting for Nick Rekieta's late and gay ass? He will be joining soon. So he's just had something going on before, but he will be joining soon. It'll be great. Don't get discouraged that you have these two attractive people instead of Nick's old ass.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm trying.
Sorry to disappoint.
I promise. But anyways, so as we were talking about, the director of the show Robin Hood, which from what I can tell after watching Disparu's review of it, and he goes through a lot of it, like very, very thoroughly. From what I can tell, it's literally like inner city poor people pretty much just pitted against people that are not poor. And like anybody that is not part of this like inner city like group are just seen as the bad guys. Literally the police are just bad guys. They're just the bad guys. It's really weird. And the police also are very incompetent, which makes sense. Like the police chased these kids into an apartment complex. And for some reason, instead of just going in there and dragging their asses out, they just put a drone in the air and like film them with a drone. And then of course the drone gets knocked down and then they just drive away. It's really weird. Like the police in my town would have come in my house and dragged me out. They wouldn't have sent a drone up to my window and then I shot it. And they're like, fuck it. Well, this guy's, he's taking out our drones. We're leaving.
I was gonna say, no, if you shot it, they'd come in guns blazing.
Yeah, they would shoot my ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, so he's really pissed about the negative reception, and says people that aren't liking it are racist. Which, like I said, I can't really fault the dude, because if I had a free get out of criticism free card, I would probably do the same thing. And I'm being legitimately honest. If I was able to just say a thing and then it like kind of negated all the criticism, I would probably say. Apparently unable to accept that his modern reimagining of the arrow slinging outlaw may only appeal to a very, very small niche of audiences. Yes,
that's put very, very well. Whoever wrote this is a smart human. Yeah,
but he's claiming that they are racist because they don't support the movie. And the motivations for the people that are like being Robin Hood, which it's the main character is like the woman, she's Robin Hood. The actual person.
So he not only did they race bend it, but they gender bended it as well.
They did all the things.
They ticked all the boxes.
Yeah, and then they placed the characters in like modern day, and obviously in modern day that means if like you're an inner city like black youth in modern day, then anybody who is any kind of figure of authority is automatically a bad person. which I don't think is a good lesson to teach people growing up. I feel like that's a terrible lesson to teach people because you're reinforcing the idea that continues to get people killed. Like, if you're growing up your whole life and you're told that every single authority figure is bad and you should do everything you can to like push back against them, then if believing that, I mean, when you're 12, 13, 14, 15, years old, you just do what that's what you learned. It's all learned behavior, right? So you go out and then a cop is like, hey man, like you were speeding, and then you immediately are like throwing a fucking tantrum and freaking out and throwing shit. Yeah, you're probably gonna get shot. Like you don't, what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a good idea to reinforce this behavior like through a TV show where every single person that's in any kind of authority figure is automatically labeled as a bad person.
Well, and I think there's a very different a very big difference rather between questioning authority or questioning the government, which I think a lot of people do and probably should do. And like you said, having immediate pushback to every authority figure. And it starts in schools too. You see it a lot in schools where the teacher is just trying to teach and have a lesson and have sort of a ruly classroom, and kids are freaking out, fighting, telling the teacher to fuck off, punching teachers, and teachers are just fed up. They're like, I don't even know what to do anymore. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, it's wild, man. So it says she is a Gen Zer driven by the injustices of today who embraces the heroic, hopeful, and playful elements of the world's most recognizable folk hero. She learns to fight for what's right, to care for and lead her followers. And like all Robin Hoods since the first ballad, Robin holds those in power to account by using their greed against them to help her community. God, his freaking article's flopping around. It says Robin Hood follows Robin Loxley, a young woman whose masked up hip hop band, The Hood, is known for their inventive videos and anti-authoritarian message. It adds, she lives in Sherwood Towers, a cluster of rental high rises in a working class corner of New Nottingham, a nearby city where the cost of living has skyrocketed, leaving an ever widening gap between the rich and everyone else. So here's the issue immediately. Is their entire viewpoint is rich and everyone else, but what qualifies you as rich? And I feel like we're at the point now, especially like with media and reinforcing like culture, is anybody that is not like, what is the word, hard, anybody who is not hard, intellectually driven, or either good with finances or successful is immediately like rich, right? So people like people I went to high school with, for example, think that I'm rich because I make like as much money as I used to being a manager like at Walmart.
Right.
Like by doing YouTube. But people think I'm a rich because I did things like I sold all my race cars and all my parts that I've had over the years that have been slowly, accruing over the years, sold all of it, and my daily driver and my Subaru, sold all of them and rolled it into like getting an R8, like a supercar. Because it's like a fucking kid ass dream of mine.
Well, and you're also still making payments on it as well.
Oh,
like it's not like you still, it's like you're still. I remember I had a comment on one of the first YouTube videos I did like a long time ago, and someone was like, "Don't give her money. She just bought a house," and I was like,
"That's why you should give her money."
Sir, do you think that I bought, like, I put 3% down, my friend? Do you think that I bought this house outright and I have like 350 grand laying around?
Yep.
Like, I don't.
Oh man, and see, that's so perfect. That is quite literally what we're talking about here. That is like that culture, and I'm not speaking culture like based on race or anything. I'm talking class culture. Like, there's negative aspects to this. People that have no idea how financing works, no idea how credit score works, how post dating a damn payment even works. They have no idea how any of this works. So when you're like, yeah, I just bought a new house, I sold my old house, and they're like, oh wow, Mr. just bought a new house. I'm like, yeah, I like it took like a month and I signed a bunch of shit, and now I have a $3,800 payment every month.
Yeah, I have a mortgage for the next 30 years of my life. Like, what do you think?
And that's the issue is people not knowing how those things, and it's like I'll never be able to buy a house. It's like, no, you could. It's just you don't know how the process works. And
you don't know how the process works, and it's tough. And you do have to save. You have to save enough for the down payment. You have to save enough for the closing costs, and it's a pain in the ass, and it's expensive. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I did it, and now I'm in a lot of debt because of it. And so it's one of those things where, but you can still do it. You just have to learn about the process and learn about what it takes and figure out how much you need going into it. That's all.
And to be fair to those people, it is increasingly harder and harder.
It is. It's really hard. I barely pulled it off.
Same. I put
barely.
I put like I think I put $128,000 down, or $168,000. I can't remember. There was like a cash down as well, but I put a lot down and still barely scraped past like them approving my ass to like pay for it.
Wow.
So it's increasingly more hard. But and that's also in equity. It's not in. I didn't give them like dollars. I feel like a lot of people think and misconstrue you're giving somebody a stack of fucking hundreds, and it's not like that. I gave them a check. I sold my house. A lawyer handed me a check for selling my house, and it had the equity on the check. Yeah. And then I took that check and I handed it to the lawyer to my right.
Immediately for the next house. Yeah.
Yep. And it went into my down payment for my next house. I got to keep $830.
Woohoo!
That's how much I made in like cash off my house. $830. But you see, what it boils down to is ignorance and knowing how things work. Reinforcing that culture that like people that are not rich, but they, work hard are not the bad guy. And that's what this show kind of portrays. Like Disparu said, a guy gets his car stolen and he's just a bad guy because he gets his car stolen. Makes no damn sense.
Dude, if my car got stolen, I'd be devastated, like financially devastated. That would fuck me. And it'd be like, just because I have a car, now I'm a bad person, and then you stole it. And I'm like, cool. Yep. I don't know how I'm doing anything now.
Yeah. Speaking of doing everything, real big shout out to the one, the only pink boy tonight. It's Billy Hatcher. I love you. I appreciate you so much, my friend. Putting us about an 8th. No, it might be a 7th, and the 7th, 6th. No, it's like a 5th. I can't do math, guys. It's like a 5th to Naked Snake.
I can't do math at all. I have no idea.
Naked Snake and Naked Zia, and maybe Naked Nick Rekieta too. Don't forget about him. And I also want to congratulate Zia for having your largest stream ever last 2 days ago.
Yeah, on Thursday. That was freaking insane. I still am like, every once in a while I'll like go through a period of time where I forgot that it happened, and I'm like, oh my god, that's right, I had the craziest stream ever. I did cry a little bit in the shower. Please don't judge me. It was a really big deal though.
Yeah.
So thank you to I don't know how many people from that are watching this, but if any of you are, thank you so fucking much. Seriously, that was huge.
When you like kind of understand that you're talented, you have the ability to push. So we were talking about this the other day. You were like, I don't remember what we were talking about, but something about you carrying your show, clips, you being, people like something about you like not being able to grow or something. I don't fucking remember. But things like that, having good, successful shows like that will kind of like learn you. They'll learn you that you are capable of this. Your personality is a lot different than other people's. Like, just the best way you can look at it is go watch a stream of someone that maybe they just started, maybe they've been doing it for years and they're streaming, and go watch them and like observe them for a moment, and then go to like a Nick Rekieta show. Mm-hmm. And there's people that they are genuinely good entertainers and they're good at what they do. And that's what people pay for. Like, a lot of people get angry because people super chat or whatever, whoever's creator, call them e-beggars. That's just how it is. But what it boils down to is these people are paying for their entertainment just like they would Netflix or anything else. And you'll go look at somebody that's either new and they're not used to it yet, or maybe they, like with lack of a better phrase, they just don't got it. And you can tell that it's just not everybody can do it. And you're one of the people that can do it. Which is why I do think you need to fucking have clips going ham, because like I said, if you guys aren't subscribed to my alt channel, it is blowing the hell up right now. It's pretty cool to watch.
Saw that.
It's doing better than my main channel. It's doing better than this channel right now. Finally, it only took 6 months. But yeah, been going really well. And if you're not following Zia as well. Same thing there. Her every time I look at your show, you have more concurrent watchers than you did the previous show.
It makes me so happy. Everybody's been so wonderful and so nice. And it's weird. I don't, I'm trying my best to just take compliments when I get them, but it's so hard. And I just want to like do this, you know what I mean? Like curl into a weird ball. Cause it's so uncomfortable. And I'm trying to just shut the fuck up and take it. But anyway, so thank you for saying that. That actually really does mean like a lot to me, especially coming from you, because I feel the same way about you. You're an incredible entertainer. You're an incredible talker. You're very entertaining. You're very funny. And I feel like you're so good at what you do. So just the fact that like you think that I'm good at it just coming from someone who's as established and does as well as you do means a lot. So yes, thank you. This is a real dick sucking party, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to realize that, like, maybe like this is something that I'm okay at and I can do. Because I've battled with imposter syndrome every single day. Dude,
so bad.
When Gary invited me on Friday Night Tots for the first time, I was like, bro, I do not belong here. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, big ass show.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. That was how I felt my first time on too. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, so it's like it's weird, but yeah, it's been good. Marrero says that was me, Zia. I told everyone to see. You're welcome.
Marrero was coming in hot with super chats too, you fucking sweetheart. Thank you. He's so sweet.
I appreciate you. Healer from Kentucky says it was my $5 that made her cry the most.
Thank you, Healer.
Only a $5? Ooh, what is that?
It was the $5, but it was also the 8 consecutive Buc-ee's boxes that he sent before that really did it.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean Buc-ee's boxes?
He sends me snack boxes from Buc-ee's. He sent me, I think, literally 5, and it's so awesome.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I understand. By the way, if you guys are waiting for Nick Rekieta, he's about to show up. I've already been talking to him on the text messages. Back to Robyn Hood.
Text messages. Back to Robyn Hood.
Yeah, back to Robyn Hood. The show has a 2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, that's bad.
I think it has a 1 out of 10 actually. And I don't even know what the Rotten Tomatoes score is. I'm sure the Rotten Tomatoes score is high just because they think they have to do that. You know how critics are.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's a black director. Well, I got to give it a 10 or else I'm racist. And you know, let's be fair here. Look, I'm not political. And I also don't belong to whatever party people just assume because I talk this way. But a lot of people, I'm not even, they're like, you're a conservative. I'm like, I'm actually not at all. Holy shit. But it's fine. I get it. Look, the people are going to say that. It's whatever. But a lot of these journalists that review movies, like these bald, effeminate guys with glasses every time, let's be fair, they think a certain way. They all have like far left ideals, and that's fine, whatever. But those people are also the kind of people that treat people of color differently, and they have a savior complex where they feel like they have to lift them up because they themselves see them as lesser. And this is something that's very, very important that a lot of people don't really think about a lot. People that occupy that space that think that we shouldn't have ID laws or we shouldn't have certain laws because literally verbatim, black people or people in inner cities are too dumb to use the internet or uneducated or don't have a car because they're too poor to go to the DMV. These are actual quotes from people that occupy this space, by the way.
Oh boy.
If you think of people if you think you need to help people because they are not smart enough, it is the bigotry of low expectations. You think just because they're color that they're uneducated or dumb or don't know where to go or what to do, or they're poor. That's like quite literally bigotry and racism. 100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems to be the definition of racism. Pretty much.
That's what these journalists do. These journalists will give like a black director a 10 out of 10, and they will only give that black because we have to lift them up because there's not as many voices, and you know we need like the reason they're doing that is because the bigotry of he actually did pretty good for a black guy. That's the whole point. Bigotry of soft expectations.
So terrible. And also, if you're looking at if they're truly looking at stats, right? And they're like, okay, so there are disproportionately more poor people in black communities. wouldn't the idea then not be to change laws for them, but to help them get out of poverty? So why don't you focus your energy on that maybe, instead of trying to get rid of laws that are actually there to help and protect American citizens?
Yeah. It's never been about helping people. It's always been about
No.
keeping people in their same place so they'll continue voting the same way they always have.
Yeah, and yes, exactly. You look at these cities, and look, I'm not Republican or Democrat either. I don't trust either of them. And but you look at these cities who vote blue over and over and over and over again, expecting different results, and still wonder, wow, why is my city getting worse and worse? I wonder. Yet they never change the way they vote.
And you can watch them almost like short circuit. Like I think it's the mayor of New York City. There was like a lady, like a white lady. She was Jewish actually, and she was complaining at a town hall event that, you know, the immigration and the people coming in has made life there just awful. And like they were complaining about housing and complaining about prices and complaining about inflation. And instead of responding in a way that ensured these people that vote for these people have your support, he just called her a plantation owning racist. By the way, she was Jewish.
Ooh.
Like her parents or grandparents like survived the Holocaust. And it's we're in the reason those things exist is because you have politicians on the left that are trying to reinforce a poor, like, angry society to continue vote. For some odd reason, they've tricked people into thinking that they are for the poor people. It's the weirdest fuck. Neither party is for the poor people, son. There is no one on your side. No one.
That's why not that I think I'm a libertarian, because I don't necessarily believe with everything, but I do agree with a lot of the stuff that they say. I like the idea of less government, more freedom for people, less taxes, people have the ability to sort of strike out on their own. It's not necessarily for the people, but it's more for the people than
yeah. And that's the issue is what people they fail to realize is if you occupy the space where maybe you're poor, maybe you're less fortunate, whatever, what have you, there is no one politically on your side. And should they technically be on your side? Like,
well, yes, because that's the entire reason for their job and existence in government is to be for the people.
Correct.
But
But what the issue is the people that occupy that space now, they wait patiently for a new president to get in office that's going to give them more. And what it boils down to is there should be somebody that's reinforcing that hard work pays. You know what I'm saying? Like really grinding it out and doing what you can to be successful. And not everybody's capable of that.
No.
Not everybody.
And I do believe, and this is where some, like, I'll start to like side leaning a little bit more left. And I do believe that you're right. Not everybody is capable of that. Not everybody should even necessarily do that, because we do need people to work those low skilled jobs. Like, those still make the country run, and they're important. And I believe that the people that work those jobs should be able to have a decent life. Like, they, should they have multiple houses and multiple cars and be rich and get all this money from the government? No, but they should be able to live well while doing these jobs that, the rest of us don't want to do, or these jobs that we still need for the country to run. Like, they are still important jobs. You want to go to Starbucks, right? And get your stupid fucking coffee. Someone's got to work there.
I don't disagree with that. I've always this is where people have thought. If you look on forums, people call me a violent leftist and a violent conservative because of what I say in what situation. But I don't follow any rule. I believe workers' rights need to be like the forefront. And what do I mean by that? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that can be misconstrued about that. A lot of people think, well, you want unions. I'm like, well, unions are only good if there's checks and balances and there's a threat to them. So unions should be able to exist like cohesively with non-union, which would make both of them work. It's kind of like how, and not always, corruption, you can never get rid of corruption solely, but for example, like healthcare or cable companies or internet companies, they all have these weird monopolies. Like, for example, like cable companies will have monopolies for years and you won't be able to get another cable provider. Or healthcare, the reason insurance for health providers is so high in certain areas is because you can only get health insurance from this place or this place.
Yeah.
And making it completely a free market would drive down prices through competition. But also, I don't necessarily agree that just because you work part-time at Captain D's for $7 an hour, which is an atrocious rate that you should never accept in the first place. But if you work part-time at Captain D's for $7 an hour, I don't necessarily think that should just mean you should be able to afford $1,000 a month like apartment. Right. That's when you would go looking. And there are places like the McDonald's on University right now for my house starts out at $17 an hour.
That same. There's a McDonald's near me that's hiring, and I think it's like 17 or 18 an hour, which is like wildly good.
Yeah.
But that's how much. Again, that's because they're looking for people to work there because they need people to work there, so they've had to raise their wages to attract people, and that's sort of how that works. Like you said, how the free market works.
But what's weird about that? The most important thing is this is an experiment. So the McDonald's and University drive starts out at $17 an hour. That's a high motherfucking rate of pay. That's gonna that is over triple what you will make starting out at GameStop. Triple. So $7 an hour. Or 17, sorry. $17 an hour starting out at McDonald's on University Avenue in my town. They cannot keep employees. Their turnover rate is unfathomable. Why?
That's a good question.
Why? See, this is the experiment that, well, if you just pay people what they're worth, then they'll work hard for you. No.
No, that's not always true either.
What people fail to realize is you have entire subsets of people that they hate authority, they hate any structure, they hate all of this. You know what I'm saying? And Bob Saget brings up a great point, and management's horrible. That's true. That's where you start out at. Man, I went into that McDonald's. So same McDonald's I'm talking about right now. I went into this McDonald's and I ordered something stupid like a McDouble or something, or a grilled chicken wrap, something after the gym. It took like 30 minutes. And this guy who was waiting the same amount of time as me got really mad and started yelling. And then the kid behind the register that's like 17 starts yelling, and they get in each other's face and they're calling each other the N-word over and over. And they almost start fist fighting. And I'm like, what the fuck is this place? And like everybody's in the back, like,
wow,
the work area. The drive-through is lined around the whole building, and no one's doing anything. They're just standing back there, like talking on their phones or talking like texting, and no one's doing anything.
That's why it took 30 minutes.
Right. And I'm like, well, it's these people are making $17 an hour here. It's not the wages that's the issue. Like, you can increase to $40 an hour once they sign on. They don't give a fuck. They're just like, give me a paycheck. Give me a paycheck.
That's the thing. And a lot of that comes from you need to have good management that drives your employees. Like, if you have you see it. I don't know if you ever watch Kitchen Nightmares.
Oh yeah.
I used to love that show.
It. Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay goes in, and there's so much of that. People just don't give a shit. And a lot of it stems from management, because management also doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
Because if they don't, then why would you?
No one cares. And this brings up a great point. Why not $1,000 an hour?
Right. Which would obviously make money completely.
No one's attitude would change. The issue is people claim that there's a really, really good excuse that people have for maybe being in between jobs or being angry at the government. Well, they don't pay enough. Why? They don't pay my worth. I don't care. But when there's a place there's a place that's paying $17 an hour, the same exact outcome happens. They can't keep anybody, and everybody in the place runs shittily. Now, obviously, management's a very, very important factor to this. But also, like, some employees are unmanageable. I was a manager for 13 years. And when I was a field manager and I had to hire over 100 people, 95% of these people were awful. They would be like, oh, my baby's sick, I can't come in. Like, twice a week, every person. Like, and you can't do that shit. Like, when you're working at a job, your first week, you can't call in twice. Sorry. It's not a thing. But these people do this. And I just don't even know what the right answer is. Like, I think the best answer is to instill good values at a young age in all cultures.
So this is what I was actually just going to say that. I think it's cultural because if you look at countries like Japan, for example, you go to Japan and people it doesn't matter whether they're the person that hands out the fucking napkins. They take pride in their work. That's why Japan is clean. That's why Japan, I mean, look, they have crime, obviously. I know the Yakuza is a whole thing. I don't know that much about it. But I remember I had a friend that I used to work with. He was one of the busboys at the restaurant I worked at in LA. And he went to Japan. And when he came back, he's like, Zia, it was the craziest thing. Everything was clean. Everybody's so respectful. If someone gets drunk and falls asleep on the side of the sidewalk, no one robs them. No one takes any of their shit. The subways are like immaculate. The trains are perfect. He's like, I've never seen anything like it. And I think so much of that comes from like a sense of pride in your community. And I think we don't have that because we hate our government. We hate all the people. We hate everybody. People just trash stuff here. It's fucking gross. Like you think about, they talk a lot about the 7 wonders of the world, right? And how the pyramids are one of those. Apparently, if you go there, it's just a trash heap. There's just garbage everywhere. Like no one gives a shit. That to me is one of my biggest pet peeves just in life are people who litter.
Yes, 100%.
Because if you have no pride in anything around you, are you serious?
Yeah. Well, that's important. I mean, get a good example is get a roommate that lives in your house and see how they treat your house. Now co-sign with that same roommate on a credit score for your house, and they own half of it and see how they treat it. It's not respecting what is not yours. A lot of people do that. This brew brings up a great point. He says, go the Dubai route. No one commits crime because they're scared of the punishment.
You get a hand chopped off.
100%. Look, dude, so very, very important. There's a reason why in rural America, gun violence is so less prevalent. Why?
Because everyone has a gun.
Because everyone has a gun. You're not going to break into Uncle Tom's cabin. If you understand that reference, please, I love you. Yeah, you're not going to break into Uncle Tom's cabin because you're going to leave with a face off. It's going to be on the ground, right? That's the whole point. And people like to argue, murder rate based on gun, including suicides. The highest amount of gun violence happens in places where guns are illegal, in America anyway, in gun-free zones, right?
Well, because if you think about it, you're not going to, okay, so we've made guns illegal. Yeah, all those bad guys who are breaking the law are totally going to abide by that. Like, it's the most ridiculous, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So that's the whole point is when you have reasons to make something bad, you don't do it. And me and Nick Rekieta had this conversation, and we'll have it again when he joins here in a minute. By the way, Nick's about to join, everybody. I'm like, people that hurt children, like people that assault children, people that do those things, with irrefutable evidence, when they are convicted with irrefutable evidence, like camera evidence, right? When that happens, we find you guilty. Here's the video footage. When the gavel hits the fucking desk, the bailiff should come over and blow your fucking head off with a shotgun.
Yep, done.
And it should be like a Gallagher show. Everybody pulls their spray thing up and the mist gets on them. Have an event. That would deter these people from hurting children in some quantifiable way. You know what I mean? Obviously, it won't deter everyone, but it'll deter a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And there's people, I mean, freaking look at old Rosenbaum. Joseph Rosenbaum, who was killed justifiably by Kyle Rittenhouse. He died doing what he loved doing in life, and that's trying to touch a minor. And he was convicted of, I think, 4 counts of brutally assaulting. And by assaulting, you know what I mean. I can't say it.
Oh, yeah. No.
4 children under the age of 11.
Why was he on the street? Why was he out of prison to begin? That man should have never been walking the streets. Yeah,
they should have cut his head off with a damn butter knife. Now, look, Rittenhouse took care of his ass. But that's the whole point, is if there is no reason to be thwarted, why be thwarted? There needs to be a deterrent.
That's what's happening in cities right now. People are just looting and stealing and and all this stuff is happening because there are no repercussions. They're doing the whole catch and release thing where they arrest them and then just let them out again. And so of course nobody's going to do it. Like, why would they stop doing that? Because there's no.
Yeah. And Patrick Neal brings up a great point. And that's why I said with irrefutable evidence, Patrick, Like, obviously, if some guy gets convicted and it's just like a kid said a thing, different situations. If you have a video of a dude assaulting a child, blow his head off. Yeah. Like, just clean off to where all you see is just like a clean cut with 12 gauge. Matt Amos says 6.24K subscribers on Zia's channel. Congrats, she's growing. Unlike the audience, Robyn in the hood.
Oh, that's so awesome. I haven't checked Matt Amos. Thank you so much.
Doing great. Thank you, Matt Amos. I appreciate you. Slag Lust said the mills of the gods grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine. If you guys are consistent with putting in quality work, it pays off, and it does. Most people quit before they ever have the opportunity to get found by the algorithm. That is very, unless you're doing something unfathomable, like you bought a freaking F40 GT and you're rebuilding it, and you're the most personality-driven person in the world, and you have $1 million backing you in marketing companies, posting it everywhere, you're not going to have immediate success on YouTube. Sorry, you're not.
No, it takes so long.
So you have to put in the work. Like I said, my alt channel, which took off in the last week, my videos on my alt channel were getting 60 to 300 views per video. I put out one every single day on my alt channel for the last 6 months. 5-6 days ago, they started blowing up 100K, 20K, 7K, 11K, 12K. Every other video. All of a sudden, it's like the algorithm's like, oh shit, there's a guy here. You got to push. Let me look at Disparu. Every video. Well, now granted, Disparu does a really, really great job.
Disparu is fantastic.
I'll click on a video being like, I'm only going to watch 5 minutes of this, or like 30 seconds, and then I watch the whole fucking thing because
he's so engaging, and then he gets so passionate too.
He's so good about his jokes. He's great. But yeah, people like Disparu who would be making content. 1,000 people will watch, 500 people will watch, 800 people will watch. Once that shit pops off, it is to the moon, and you have to ride that shit. And you just got to put in the work. You got to grind. It's all a grind. It's like playing WoW. If you quit at level 30 every time, you're never gonna make it a success on YouTube. Thank you, Slosher. Love you, dude. Caros, my boy says Nicholas. Nick's boobs are so big. What the hell?
I got very, very close. Are you impressed? I have a great razor.
Amazing. Thank you, Karis. I love you. I appreciate you, and I miss you. Get on it, doggone it. Matt himself says, when I was finishing high school on my own, I was making $5.15 an hour. Same. Had to figure out my roommate situations. We had to work together to live until we moved into a better paying jobs. It's possible. Just got to grind. Yeah, when I was working at Piggly Wiggly, it was $5.15 an hour. Thank you, Matt. I love you. I appreciate it.
My first job was $7.25, I guess. I worked at this Hawaiian food place called Island Infusion. And it was one of those places in the food court where you go and I'd like make the plate for you. Yeah. And bring you up.
You're like, I think you're like a slightly younger than me. I might be wrong, but I remember I was making $5.15, and then when I turned 18, it went up to like $7.25 federally.
Okay, yeah. I think minimum wage was $7.25 when I got my first job.
And I remember there was a guy already making $7.30 at my job, and they didn't increase his pay at all. So he was just making
he just got fucked. He thought he got a raise.
Rest in peace. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Donna says, you work hard and get pay raise, then the rent goes up. Never seem to get ahead. Also glad you survived the crash. Do you do any races in New York? New York, I do not. Next year I'll have a better idea, but I think the closest I'll go is Pennsylvania. And also, I don't know how close New York is to Virginia, but I raced in Virginia. It was like an hour from Washington, D.C., where I was recently.
Yeah, I feel like Virginia's not very far. I went to Virginia for DC Exotica with Chrissy, and I want to say it was like a 5-hour drive because it was in Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I did I like mapped to where you live, and it was like 4 hours.
Yeah, that makes sense. 4 hours is not terrible.
Slagless. The answer is to not hire POC. Damn, here's 2 for the Goomba. My God, Slaglust. Matt himself says, for all the small creators, Rekieta is about to join. Is the best grift to get. The grift that keeps on giving. No, he's really about to join. I promise. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you. ASE says, I like Cody's input about business management and hiring people. That's what it's like for me managing McDonald's too. People are unmotivated by raises. They are not. People do not understand that. Oh well, if you just pay people more. A lot of people don't respond to that. Shit, my editor doesn't even respond to that shit. I hope you're in here, you motherfucker. No, I was like, hey, man, I'll give you $500 every single time we hit 100,000 more views. And then he just doesn't upload a video for 4 days after the one blew up. And I was like, fuck, I'll just do it myself. So I did it all day myself. I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it myself.
shit.
But bro, dude, if it was me, I would have had like 500 videos the next day, like fucking uploaded. I'd be like, I'm maxing out. You give me $2,000 the next day, motherfucker. You know, I've been crazy. That's just how I am. I'm very numbers and money motivated though. It fascinates me. I love that shit. I love watching numbers click off and go up. I love it. It's
nope. I'm the exact same, because then when I do that, I take it and other numbers go down, and I feel like I'm drowning a little bit less.
Yeah, and it's not a hustling thing. I mean, I worked in corporate environments for like 13 years, and my entire job was looking at a P&L and looking at numbers, analytics, and that is all I did. So of course, it perfectly translates into YouTube analytics. It's the same shit. So all I do is look at it like every day, like all day, think of what I can do better. Thank you, ASE. But
that's Mint, by the way.
Who's Mint?
ASE. That's Mint.
This is Mint?
That's Mint.
The same Mint that puts her
autistic boobs.
She puts ass cheeks on Instagram.
Yes, she's wonderful. That's her.
Look at her. Look at her putting her. Yeah, her ass cheeks. Every time I scroll on Instagram, I just see your fat ass. I'm just like, oh my god.
Wait, am I not following her on Instagram? Am
like, oh my
god, retarded? I follow her on Twitter.
Thank God for people that just post their ass. It's like the thing I look forward to. I'm just scrolling. You did it fucking yesterday, didn't you?
I did it today.
You did today? I like that shit so hard. I was like,
thank you.
Look at them cheeks.
No, because I'm with you. I also spend like an obscene amount of time looking at hot chicks on Instagram. Like it's kind of out of control.
God damn. Yeah. Like, thank God for the female form. I probably would have killed myself by now if it wasn't for ass cheeks.
They're hot.
Like fat, hairless woman ass cheeks. Oh, wait, God.
What's her Instagram?
I'll just put my ass, I'll put my nose in that bitch. Warm.
Snort it like cocaine.
Yeah, dude. Buzz says Colonel Jeff Cooper was 100% right on the fact that criminal doesn't fear a judge, jury, and must learn to fear his victim. 100%, dude. 100%.
I like that. Yes.
Thank you, Buzz. Oh, and look, it's Chris the McGough. With a pink boy. Says, and the only ones breaking into Tyrone's stash house is SWAT. Thank you, McGough. My boy coming in with a pink, delicious pink boy. One red boy from a rainbow night, and that puts us officially a third to Naked Snake and Naked Zia and Naked Nick Rekieta whenever that motherfucker joins.
I'll put on like a cute little t-shirt, a dressy thing, and do a little strip.
That sounds even better. Wait, well, hold on. You're on strip?
Yeah, I'll put on like I got the idea from, I think it might have been Helena last time, which by the way, I keep forgetting. I'm going to download Snapchat and I need you to give me her information because you have been supposed to be doing that for a long time. I know.
My favorite memory of Helena is being at the bar in Las Vegas and Helena's just there with me. And Nick Rekieta just starts dancing with her. And they're just dancing in the middle of the bar, like slow dancing. I'm like, this is great. There wasn't even music.
Adorable.
There wasn't even music playing.
That's so cute.
It was adorable. Okay. Thank you, Kristen McGough. I love you. Antonio says, somehow my income tax is free, but even at $120K a year, I can't get a home loan. Wait, hold up. Your income tax is free.
What? Okay, first of all, where do you live? And how are you not able to get a home loan on $120K? Are they retarded?
Like, dude, I pay like 40 grand a year in taxes. Like breaks my back, bro.
That makes me want to cry. I actually did cry. I did cry. When I got my last year's tax bill, I cried.
Yeah, I just don't think about it. I just I have a auto payment plan set up with the IRS, and I just like when I get a new letter, I just like look at it and sigh and then put it down again. Like, well, here we go again.
There it is.
Saw01 says, Zia, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
I have been working for around 20 years and I only called off about 5 times. I don't like work, but no, see, look, and I don't want to be like that redneck man that's like, you need to work, like, but I can only talk about how I like do things personally. Look, I know people have different shit going on, but when I worked at GameStop, I called in and I was the store manager, so I had to call somebody else to come in. I think I did it a total of 3 times in 11 years. And it was like emergencies, like
extenuating circumstances.
I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed and I was like throwing up and like called my ASM, was like, man, like I feel so bad for doing this, but can you go in and I'll work for you some other time? But I literally can't move. It was like it was 2011. I think I was really sick for the first time since I was a kid. I had like actual flu or something. And I was like, oh, like it was awful. Couldn't eat. Things tasted weird. It was weird.
Yeah.
So, and even then it was only 3 days. And then I went right back to work. And I was still sick when I went back to work. You know, I just don't know. Is Rekieta late and gay? Yep. He's late and gay, but he's supposed to be joining. So we'll be live. We'll be live regardless. But anyways, man, we go off on a lot of rants. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you like the show. We're almost to the goal already, and we're not even barely an hour in. We're a third to Naked Zia, Naked Snake, and Naked Rekieta when he joins as well. A third there. One red boy from a rainbow night. The grift is strong, but also after talking about Robin Hood, we also got to talk about so I don't know. Here, let's preface this with some very important, like pertinent information. So Bungie recently, guys, I don't know if you noticed this. I have a Hispanic friend, and
you've mentioned that once or twice.
I have one Hispanic friend. No, I have multiple. All right, I go to eat Mexican food a lot. No, but I legitimately have like a Hispanic friend I see like every day, and so I've talked about this, and it's so Bungie released a like tweet or like a diversity program, and they referred to it as the Latin X, and then they put like /A/U/E/ all this shit.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, trying to be inclusive, which the language is gendered. I know, like, look, white girls, I know for all the white women watching, I know you have to save other races, but the Spanish language is a gendered language. Just like
most
French,
languages. Yeah.
Just like so. Unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to change that, and Hispanics fucking hate it. But white women got to push their shit. So diversity officers for companies are always trying to push this shit, and it's always a white woman. You'll notice it every time. I actually looked up I saw this Latinx thing pop up, and I looked at the diversity officer for whatever company posted it. It might have been Bungie, and it was literally it was like a short-haired white lady every fucking time.
What is that?
Well, she's got to save other races because see if they're too stupid to do it themselves, so you have to save them.
So condescending.
Thank you. Is that the Lale Lule Lo over here, Disparu? You're the Lale Lule Lo, the Patriots. No, the Patriots. So so Bungie did this, and they're talking about launching this new diversity thing because that's what people want. Apparently, they're trying to get that juicy ESG financing. So, anyways, that being said, no one that's Hispanic wants this. No one that is Hispanic wants this, but unfortunately, white woke women do, and that's all that matters in Western cultures, unfortunately. So that being said, Bungie did that. Now Bungie's being sued over a racial motivated termination, which is a very weird timing, and I love it. So let's pull this up real quick. Yeah, look at
so
Sonya.
Much tea.
Sonya Hispanic as hell, and she's like, nope, fuck them, hate them, hope they all die. You know what I'm saying? So Sonya sees right through it. A lot. The issue is what you'll notice with like Black culture and like Latino culture is they see through this shit so fast.
Mm-hmm.
They see through it immediately.
It's sort of the same whenever they have a strong female lead. I'm always like, oh god, fuck. And you see through it like really quickly, and you know it's going to be garbage, whatever it is.
The only people that care about strong female like toxic masculinity, like attributes leads, for some reason they have those attributes. I guess it's cool when it's a woman, but the only people that care about those strong female leads are literally the people writing them. No one else likes them.
No, because it's boring one-dimensional characters who have there's no nuances. They can never be a flawed human being. It's always they've got to come in and kick so much ass, and you're like, all right, cool, this was fun.
Yeah. Flux is like, I'm a white woman watching. Yeah, Flux. Yeah, Flux, you better sit down. Don't speak. All right, unless spoken to, Flux. It says former Bungie HR manager is suing for wrongful termination after she reported potential racial bias. She alleges her recommendations for sensitivity training were met with hostility and denial. Oh my God. Destiny 2, a marathon developer, Bungie, is currently being sued for retaliation and wrongful termination by a former HR manager. Uh-oh. It says in a complaint filed earlier this year in the state of Washington, plaintiff Ingrid Alm recounts that she was hired by Bungie in May 2022 as HR manager, coming into the job with over a decade of experience. Just a few months into her employment, she says she was instructed to investigate the performance of a particular employee referred to as James Smith. But when she sat down to speak with Smith, he allegedly pointed out that he was the only black employee on a team of 50 individuals and expressed that he felt he was being singled out and racially targeted by his supervisor. Alm goes on to say that she shared this information with her supervisor and recommended that Smith's supervisor receive diversity training, but alleges that her recommendation was met with hostility and denial. She says she was told that the individuals she was recommending take the training had been there for a long time and are highly regarded, and her recommendation was denied. Following this, Elm alleges that Bungie recommended terminating Smith's employment. Alm says she disagreed, saying this would be racial bias, and in September approached Bungie's director of equity and inclusion. Equity it should be equality, not equity. Dr. Courtney Benjamin for advice. Benjamin suggests that terminating Smith would be too risky considering the evidence. You can't step on eggshells, man. Alm alleges that her supervisor became extremely angry at her for reaching out to Benjamin and gave her a written warning over email. She didn't want her to think that she was racist. At the end of September, Alm was informed that a resignation had been accepted because she resigned after this, despite insisting that she had not intended to resign and wanted to keep her job. She says she declined to sign a document stating that she voluntarily resigned, which is very, very important. So here's something that's really funny. And like, you know, I don't really know about this situation, but what's funny is you'll have places like Bungie and what's another good one? Activision, Blizzard, back before they were with
Activision.
Yeah, you have all these companies coming out, and you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of celebrities, but we'll get there eventually. So all these companies come out and they're like hashtag BLM, hashtag LGBT, diversity is our strength. We stand with George Floyd, blah, 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 whatever, have you. Regardless of your opinion on those factors, they'll come out and say those things. Why?
Because it's performative. Come on.
Performative, it's public, it's all for public perception. But within the structure of their actual company, they could give two flying fucks. They had the Cosby Room at Activision. They were banging 19-year-old interns anally to try to get them on full time as a what's the word? An initiation. These nerdy dudes at Blizzard was clapping cheeks for all the interns in the Cosby Room, going ham, getting them drunk, slapping them on the ass cheeks, thumbing them, and everything. And that's the same company that will be doing that behind the scenes. The CEO, the CFO, every executive, every single manager at those companies are doing these same things. And by God, you best believe their unpaid intern that's in charge of their social media is saying hashtag inclusivity, hashtag diversity. And they're the first person that said, I ain't hiring that black motherfucker. That's those people.
Yeah,
it's all performative and it's fake, and they've learned it. It's a learned trait from politicians over the last 40 years.
Yep. Anyone who is too much on their soapbox, I immediately don't trust. Yep. As soon as someone is too for whatever cause and they're really outspoken about it and constantly posting about it on either side, by the way, the right does it too, where they're like, I'm anti-abortion. Meanwhile, they've had, 6 with their mistress. I don't trust those people one single bit because they're always full of shit. They're always full of shit. Anyone who really practices what they preach don't actually preach that hard. They just live their life that way.
Yep. And what is the common phrase? People that preach like social justice the most are usually the ones that are active in it, the negative aspects of it.
Yeah, of course. They're always the most fucked
People
up.
that cry racism are usually racist themselves. It kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Yep. Don't trust them at all.
Mr. Floppy Neckers says, if you want to see a trailer about government fearing the people theme, check out the Beekeepers trailer, Testosterone Overload.
Thank you, Mr. Floppy Neckers.
Appreciate that. Luis Cuevas says, it's also second generation Americans that don't speak the language as fluently as they think. They don't listen to corridos, norteñas, cojondos, mariachi. I'm trying real hard.
That was so Spanish sounding, Cody.
Yeah, these don't speak for all of us.
I see what you did there, Lewis.
I see it. It's beautiful. Thank you, Elias Cuevas. Appreciate you, my friend. I've been practicing my accent.
That was impressive.
I've been watching a lot of Antonio Banderas and Puss in Boots.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. I feel like that's where you want to learn your Spanish from.
Jace. That and Nacho Libre taught me a lot of it too.
I feel like that's how you're going to get all the ladies. You just talk to them in that swarthy voice. And they're like, oh my God, Cody. Oh my God.
Do not pay attention to my face. It is white. Like the sky. No. Pay attention to my voice. Come on the phone. Oh, yes, I am Hispanic. Abuelita. All these words. You know what they are.
Abuelita, all these words.
And I show up and they're like, what the fuck? You're a white dude. Jace, I may be white, but my heart is Hispanic.
That's what I say when Svetlana comes out. I'm like, yes. I'm living white girl, but I'm actually Russian.
Yeah, no, I'm a
little American girl.
You identify with Moana, right?
Yeah, I identify with Moana. I'm like a little Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
Do you see yourself? Do you see yourself seeing the light as it shines on the sea? It's calling.
I always have. Wait, is that from? I've never seen Moana.
And no one knows how deep it goes.
That's for Moana.
See the light as it shines on the sea. It calls me. No,
see, this is why I can't watch these movies, because they always burst into the song, and I'm like, oh
it's
fuck!
So great.
I hate it so much.
No.
How do you like it, Cody? How?
Are you fucking kidding me? Because it's beautiful.
No, it's not beautiful. It's
so
terrible.
You hate Hawaiian culture, is what you're saying?
I hate musicals.
Oh, you liar!
How
could you hate it? You are Hawaiian, kind of. Don't make me pull up a picture of your mama.
Look, you can't pull up a picture of my mama. I look nothing like her. It doesn't make any sense.
She's brown
she's brown as hell. However, I don't like singing from any culture.
I disagree. No, man.
If it's burst into song during,
it's not. The whole movie's not a musical. No, it's not like that.
How many songs are there? Like
there? Did they just maybe?
That's too many songs.
But it's like a 90-minute movie.
That's a lot. 9 songs in an hour.
25 minutes in a 90-minute movie.
That's a third of the movie. That's
bad math, Zia.
Wouldn't it be 30, 60, 90? That's 1/3. 30 minutes.
No, I said 25 minutes.
Okay, so a little bit less than a third. That's pretty much a third.
And the songs are great, by the way. Okay.
No.
Oh my God.
Anytime they start fucking bursting into song, I'm done.
You gotta watch it. It's not. They don't burst in the song. It works. It's not bursting. There's a build up. Okay.
You know what song? You know what movie I like? Lilo and Stitch, because there's no fucking singing.
Yeah,
it's just a good movie.
I don't like it. You know why I don't like it? For one,
there's no singing because you're gay.
No, damn it. I don't like Lilo and Stitch because fucking Stitch is a dick ass. The whole movie is a piece of shit. I hate him.
No, but he finally learns because he doesn't know. He doesn't understand what having a family is, and then he realized what Ohana means.
It takes the whole movie for him to not be an asshole.
Yeah, but then he realizes, because it's like like an abused dog. It takes a dog so long to warm up to having a loving family. That was poor little Stitch.
I don't know.
He just needed love. He needed the love from a sweet little girl.
You cannot sit there with a straight face. You cannot sit there with a straight face and watch Coco and not love it.
I've never seen Coco.
Oh my God.
Too much singing.
No, it's great. There's not even that much singing. Like there's like a song maybe every once in a while, but it's like like fucking like mariachi bands and shit. It's so good because it's like the Day of the Dead. It's Dia de los Muertos, right? So it's like that's the whole movie, and there's like they go to the dead place, which is weird because I'm like, wait, do I go to Mexican like hell? Like I don't know, like right? Because there's a Mexican hell, which means there's only a Mexican hell. So I'm gonna go to Mexican hell, right?
Well, that depends on which religion actually ends up being the right one, if anyone exists.
No, I'm saying in the Coco universe. Do I?
Oh, in the Coco universe, I guess. So everyone goes to. I don't know.
Is this where you started? Hell?
Is this where you started identifying as a Mexican?
No, well, yeah, no, I love Coco. No, there's like a Mexican hell in Coco, and that's where they go. And I'm thinking, like, do I go to like Mexican, or do I go to like Trailer Park Hell? That's gonna suck.
You go to what's Trailer Park Hell?
I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying is like I don't know where I'm going. Like
in the Sopranos, hell for them is when they're at an Irish bar during St. Patrick's Day, and that's Italian hell.
All I know is Coco's beautiful. And every song is so beautiful. Like it's it's real songs, Zia. It's not like they're not like a music happens and then they're like explaining what's happening. Like, like Cinderella, she cleaning shit.
Yeah, I hate it.
No, it's not like. Now I agree with you. I agree. No, Coco is like his great grandfather is Ernesto de la Cruz, and he's like a famous musician, and he wants to be a musician his whole life. So he wants to play guitar, but his family they're shoemakers, and they don't want him to play music because music destroyed their family. Do you understand? So they don't want it. So he has to go in his like attic and a guitar he built and play beautiful music. And he watches Ernesto de la Cruz home videos, and it's great. He's like Elvis, basically. He's in movies and shit. So he goes down into Mexican hell for some reason. And he's like playing music, and it's great, and it's so good. And he's like at the very end, oh my God, Zia. The very end, he's like playing the song. He finds out the actual truth and the twist behind the movie, and he like starts playing it for the old lady. Oh my God. And he's like, remember me, bum bum, before you say goodbye, remember me. And I'm just like,
did she drop
oh,
and then did she drop the jewel into the ocean?
Why are you fucking with me right now? what are you talking about? You need to watch it. You will love it.
I don't know that I will. I truly hate music. The only music I feel like the only movie musical.
You hate music?
No, I love music. I love
hate music.
But,
I hate all music. You are literally you are the old bitch in Coco. We don't like music here. No, Miguel, you do not play music. You make the shoes. That's what you are that lady right now.
No, I love music, but I like specific music, and I hate most music. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. There's a lot of music that I just despise. If it's not what I like, I don't like it. And I'm like God. That. The only movie that I enjoyed the musical-ishness part of it was Across the Universe, because that movie was dope. And that's like I forget about that, but I've only seen it once. I don't know if I watch it again. I don't know if that's like a multiple watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love it. I feel like if you watch, you'll actually understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't like musicals either at all.
I hate them
I watched Shrek the musical, and I was like, this is awful.
No, I can't do it. As soon as they start singing, as I've walked out of theaters before because of that. I'm like, I will fucking leave.
Is there like some kind of trauma? Like, so like they start singing, but it's not they're not singing about the environment. They're like, or like what's happening. It's an actual song. Like the guy's a music artist, and it's you know what I'm saying?
It's unnecessary.
Oh my God. Listen, all right. You need to watch Coco and actually tell me what you think. And go into it with an open mind and don't be gay.
I'm gonna be super gay, but maybe I'll for you.
Now they do go to Mexican hell. I don't know if Nick can watch it. I don't know. But it's kind of cute. It's kind of spooky though.
All right. Look, I'll watch it. I'll watch it because you're my friend, and I'll text you about it. But I'm gonna complain the whole time.
No, don't complain. Just watch it. Watch it. I'm telling you, there's not that much music, man. There's like 4 songs the whole movie, but they work with the whole environment. Like,
can I fast forward through them and still understand what's going on in the movie?
You would do no such thing, motherfucker.
Damn it!
Good. No, the kid has to play the first song. He's like in Mexican hell, and they're doing a talent show to be able to get tickets to go to Ernesto de la Cruz big old party. So he gets on stage, and he's like he has to like play a song on stage, and he's like really nervous, and he starts playing the song, and it's great. It's not like a musical about music thing. He gets on the song and actually, you go to a concert, Zia, you go see damn Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah, I love Coheed and Cambria. If it's
you don't go gay, you don't do that.
No, but if the movie was playing Coheed and Cambria, maybe I would like it.
All right, okay, whatever. Matt Amos says no singing, stop it. Don't have anyone breaking into the song.
Thank you, Matt Amos. Someone that understands.
Oh, sorry, I watched a movie the other night. It's emotional, and it was a 10 out of 10. But at the very end, the dad started singing as he was dying of cancer to his daughter as she cried because he was singing something from their childhood, and he started singing, and I just didn't like it, because I don't like music in movies. Okay, whatever. You know what, Matt Amos, I appreciate you. Oh, by the way, Nick Rekieta just texted me and said he's joining.
Oh, good. When he gets in, I'm gonna pee and grab my chapstick.
Same. Well, actually, fuck. We'll take turns, I guess. By the way,
yes,
we are. Hold on, sorry. We are $5.99 until Naked Zia, Naked Snake, and Naked Nick Rekieta. Get on it, dog on it.
Everybody's gonna get naked.
Yeah. Zach says Mexican hell is called Mictlan. Source. Well, damn.
Great.
That's the only thing that I wish I could have been born like some kind of Hispanic, but like not all full Hispanic. I don't want to be 4'11", but like I want to be like I wish my dad would have I wish my mom was somehow kind of Hispanic.
So you wish your mom was like half Hispanic, so you were like a quarter?
Yeah, so I'm like kind of dark and handsome, but I'm also as tall as I am and buff. And like,
how tall are you again?
5'11".
Okay.
But I would like to, I would like, to be there to, I wish I could be like, I am Hispanic. I just wish, because I love Hispanic. That's my favorite culture by a mile. Hispanic.
Is it also your favorite food? Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
The enthusiasm.
Jace.
Okay, see, I think maybe I wish I was Italian because I love Italian. That's like my favorite culture and also my favorite food.
If it wasn't for Hispanic women being so psycho jealous, like that's who I would gravitate towards.
Hispanic women are hot as hell.
They're great, but no, like you'll be like, yeah, okay, I really loved hanging out with you tonight. You're great. Let's do it again. And then they you just get a random text like a week later, and it's like, I saw you with that white whore, and you're like, what? And you're like, I saw you. You were at Bridge Street. I saw you. You were with a white whore. And I'm like,
is that true?
I'm like, ma'am, we hung out once, okay, and I haven't committed to nobody. And she freaking out, showing up at my house and shit, and like fucking turning my breaker off. No.
Wait, what?
Hispanic women are psycho jealous. They get so jealous.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh my God. They can smell it. You go out, you could be like in another state and you can walk by a woman.
And they know.
And they'll call
They're
you.
like, I smell obsession. Is that a perfume?
Did you walk by a whore? No, bitch, I am in my hotel. No, I can smell her. Where is her? What is her name? Is she hotter than me? I kill her.
Has this ever happened to you before?
Yeah, dude, that's why I can't hook up with Hispanic women. Because they'll kill my ass. They'll kill your ass.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, that's so funny.
I saw you streaming with Zia. Who is this? And you're like, oh, is this a person I stream with? I would kill her. And it's like, okay.
All right, so please don't date any Hispanic women.
I don't even know your first name, ma'am. What's your name again? You are mine. I will get my cousins to come attack you. And I'm like, oh, God damn. They show up in their freaking lowrider. It's like, hey, you mess with our cousin, huh? You're like, no, I don't even know her, man. I'm sorry. I saw her at the club and kissed a little.
Holy
Jesus. Fire PA says, to quote Tangled, sorry, boys, I don't sing.
Goddamn straight, Fire PA. Goddamn straight.
Old Nerdy says, Zia, did you ever watch Flight of the Concords? Lots of songs. She's not going to watch it, bro.
Okay, so this is actually funny. Hi, Old Nerdy, first of all. Old Nerdy's one of my mods. He's goated. Yes, I have seen Flight of the Concords. And yes, it is funny. And yes, I like the people in it. But no, I couldn't get through the whole show because there's too much singing. There are too many songs. I tried. I did. I tried to watch it. And it's not that I think it's bad because you're right. It is funny. And those people are good. The guy from Flight of the Concords was the guy in Legion, which that show was so fucking phenomenal. I think it's time to go back for a Legion watch. God, that was a good show.
There's a show called Legion, or is there a movie?
No, there is a movie called Legion, but have you never seen the show Legion? Oh, wow. It was like, it's a hidden Marvel gem of a show. Yeah. It was on FX, I think, and it had Dan Stevens, who played Legion. It is legitimately a fucking fantastic show, a good Marvel show, because it's very different from usual Marvel. And there was supposed to be a movie. The guy who did it, Noah Hawley, I think is his name, was the producer of it. He also did or was supposed to direct a Doom, Dr. Doom movie. But I don't know what ever happened with that. Been waiting on that for a while. He's good.
Count Tequila. Hey, what's up, baby? Again, Count Tequila's here. He says, hey, I'm back. And he is back. What's up, dude? Legion was great. Hey. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's something I'll definitely need to check out because I'm not like you, Zia, and I'll check out what you recommend. Okay.
It was good. I checked out how many horror movies that you recommended that I went and watched afterwards.
Cody? Singing in them.
Exactly. Okay. There's a rap battle in Legion. I liked that. It was rap.
So you like when stuff sucks, is what you're saying?
I'm telling you, it does not suck. It was awesome.
Mr. Floppy says, I think Nick is a Samsquatch and he doesn't exist. I'm telling you, he's just like the dragons in Game of Thrones.
For a while.
He's the dragons in Game of Thrones. He's coming. I promise. He's coming. He texted me 20 minutes ago and said 20 minutes.
that 20 minutes ago. So that means he should.
So he'll be joining.
Now.
I'll see his head pop up here in a second, and then I'll bring him on and let you guys say late and gay. I want you to spam late and gay in the
late
chat.
Gay.
Metalocalypse is a hilarious metal music show. It's so good.
I've heard good things about Metalocalypse, and I like metal, so I would maybe like that.
Yeah, it's fantastic show. But yes, so like we were talking about before, Jesus, God, all my dogs are in here.
How many dogs you got?
I have a husky and I have the German Shepherd, and he's my husky. So
cute.
Sonia knows. I don't talk about PDH too much, but PDH is my boy, and she has the German Shepherd. She has a German Shepherd, and she's sitting here in my studio right now. She's never in my studio, but for some reason she's in here, and there's all the dogs are just on top of her. Sonia knows who I'm talking about.
That's so cute.
She's met her 100 times, but yeah, they're just on top of her. She was at fucking Matsuri. So yeah.
I think I've seen a picture.
Yeah, she's at Matsuri. She's a blonde girl. Bad Dragonaut says it was announced that Last of Us 2 is being remastered again. Are you hyped? No. No.
Is anyone?
I have a video coming out about that on my alt channel, and Last of Us is atrocious. The first Last of Us is great. Second Last of Us it's jarring. The gameplay is great. Don't get me wrong. Not Pippa. Yes, James Hunt. You guys remember Not Pippa? Yeah, it's PDH. That would like broke the internet for like a week.
Dude, I got an email about that, and Nick I remember I told Nick about it when I first got the email, but he must have forgotten because he was going through he'll go through my website emails for me and be like, hey, you need to respond to these, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. And he was like, what is this? Someone asking if this is you, and I was like, oh. Because someone emailed me and was like, is this picture looks like it could be you? If that's you, you should really say something publicly, because this whole thing, like they wrote me this whole email about it. I remember texting you and you're like, just ignore it. I was like, it was so weird.
Yeah. That was a wild time. But no. Yeah. So Last of Us 2, like I said, gameplay was great, but it was so weird because when you played Last of Us 1, right? When you play Last of Us 1, you'll go kill a bunch of people, and then you'll leave the place, and then you're kind of talking about like overworld shit that's happening in the game. Like your characters will have banter kind of. In the second one, the same thing happened. But obviously Joel's dead, and you are with this other random small girl. So you play as Ellie. She's like 115, 110 pound, maybe less, small girl. That's like fighting 250-pound like dudes and killing them with their bare hands.
That makes sense.
Which is the first thing that's fucking frustrating. And then the other character's name is Dina, and she's like the lesbian girlfriend to Ellie, which is fine, whatever. But you'll go through a fucking like hour-long thing where you're like avoiding clickers and you're stabbing people and shit, and then you leave the building, and then they start like doing weird flirty like girl banter that's not like real. In the situation that you're in this post-apocalyptic world, you would not be like, you'd be talking about LOL, babe, like blah 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 blah. Like it's so silly. The banter's so silly and stupid.
So it's kind of bad writing,
right? And then of course they had to have like the lesbian sex scenes, like in like cut scenes and shit. Like they finally get to a stopping point after fighting zombies and people all day, and then they just like start banging. It's just the weirdest fucking. It's a weird show, and you don't have to insert sexuality in everything.
No, it was only so in The Witcher, and it's only because we want to see Geralt half naked.
Yeah, and why in the absolute hell? The bad guy, of course, also a woman, Abby, is like jacked. And I'm like, is she like taking testosterone and freaking trend? Like she's freaking jacked. I don't know. It was just all awful. And
it was just too much.
Disparu's still here. Says, I like Last of Us 2 because a bodybuilder who needs 6,000 calories a day after a 12-hour workout with specific food ratios and apocalyptic wasteland makes sense. Bro, Disparu... being me, Disparu, like, and working out, dieting, like the last 10 years straight, that was my number one complaint the first like 2 days I played it. I was like, why is this chick huge in a post? You would never be that big. It is impossible.
No, you'd be lean and wiry because because food is scarce.
You would be lean and like, yeah, exactly. You'd be lean and like lanky as fuck.
Yeah.
You would be jacked.
No, you eat so much food.
It takes like 200 grams of protein a day. For years to be
I'm eating like 140 grams of protein, and I'm so salty because my muscles aren't growing the way I want them to. And it takes I have to eat sometimes where I feel kind of sick. I'm like, I don't want to eat anymore. And I'm like, It's terrible. And I'm like, not even, it does. It takes so much work. And when you're a girl specifically, you just don't have the muscle mass or the bone density to get like that naturally. If you're not injecting something, you ain't going to fucking look like that, dude. It takes too much work.
Yeah. Disparu's a smart guy. Like, I don't think Disparu's like into bodybuilding at all, but like knows exactly, like, the only excuse for a woman to have those muscles is she was a professional whose entire life was getting to that state. Yeah. 100%. Like,
yes,
men, there are some men out there that have freak genetics that could be kind of built in that environment. Yeah, probably like a 6'1" dude that weighs 202 pounds, a little bit built. That's possible, but you will never in any situation have a jacked woman in an environment where there's no food, because for a woman to get jacked, you have to be on gear.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is I have watched women work out every single day, lift hard, and fucking eat an ass ton, and they just look like they'll kind of have a little bit of shoulder separation, a little bit of chest separation. They usually have giant, fit looking asses, though.
Well, because that's where women are more developed than men, because again, that comes down to the entire way we're made up, because we need to have babies. So our lower bodies hold more fat and carry more fat and get bigger. I mean, typically are stronger. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the issue is people don't understand what it takes. And, for you to be a jacked woman, there was not one before 1970. No. There was not a jacked woman in history before 1970. Like, and that's because the introduction of anabolic steroids. Women do not produce enough testosterone to ever build meaningful mass. It is not possible in their anatomy. Does not work. It is not a thing. So when you see a woman on Instagram that's fucking jacked, like, she's not like gross jacked, but she's got like abs and she's got kind of big arms and big shoulders, and I love jacked girls that are like tastefully jacked. Love it. But they're on Anavar. They're on at least 10 milligrams of Anavar for like 12 weeks at a time. 100%.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much, but it takes testosterone, which women do not produce enough of. Johan says, speaking of tea, got my tea numbers back on Friday. Cody went up 315 points. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Congratulations, Johan, tonight. Thank you for all your support. I am going to get Nick to fat shame you when he joins, because he's about to join here in a second.
Johan or me?
It's like a meme.
Both.
No, not you. I'm going to get him to fat shame Johan. He's going to fat shame Johan for sure. I don't know how you guys get T numbers. Our healthcare would never do that. Shit. I can go to the health department tomorrow and they'll give me my T numbers.
Really?
Which would likely be
what my T numbers are.
Mine would be retarded.
Are you shooting up?
Mine would be 4. Yeah.
I love you, Cody. He just goes, yeah. Of course I am, you dumb bitch.
What? This is common knowledge.
No, I figured as I feel like I've heard you talk about it before, but I can't remember.
Like,
but you're a guy. You're a guy. Guys can get more mass.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, it's not. Not anabolics. It's just testosterone.
Okay. Yeah, but still.
The nectar of the gods.
Do you notice that you're a lot hornier when you're on testosterone?
Wow.
Is that like, yeah.
It's like uncontainable. It's fucking crazy. Like, you just walk up, just you can hang shit off of it like all day.
Just all the time. Just out there knocking shit over. You're like, God damn it. I just bought that.
Disparu says, and angrier. No. I think it depends on if you're prone to that. I never get angry ever. Like, last time I was legitimately mad, if we ignore me wrecking, and I was real mad when that happened. I was fucking screaming. But before that, I was probably a teenager last time I got that mad. Like, where I got that mad where I was like screaming. Yeah, I was probably like maybe once in my 20s and maybe once in my teenage years. I got really fucking mad. But I don't really get mad ever.
That's so nice. What it would be like for that. I mean, I guess I don't really get all that mad. Like, I get mad occasionally, but when I tend to be one of those people that I'll get really fucking pissed, but I'm very good at controlling. I think it's because I've been with someone I got to be careful around Nick, because he doesn't handle high emotions very well.
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Like, if he'll get triggered kind of easily with certain things. Like, if I get too angry, or if
what do you mean by triggered? Like, what happens?
Big argument, yelling, not fun. So I've gotten.
But is it like the night terror thing? Does it get a little tear-eyed?
No.
I was wondering.
He doesn't cry very often. I've only seen it like twice, and he wasn't like breaking down. It was just small tears. But anyway,
it should be once, and it's only when his parents pass away.
Oh no, he'll celebrate when that happens.
Oh my god,
they were terrible people.
Oh, well, this all makes sense now.
Yeah, hello.
It's the angsty I hate my parents thing. Yeah.
But I've gotten very good at controlling my emotions. So like even when I'm really, really angry, I'm very good at keeping shit down and holding it in place. And then I get over it really quickly.
Yeah.
So like I do get angry, but it passes relatively quickly. And I'm very good at keeping it just like right around here. I've gotten very good at that over the years.
I think what's the word? So there's this biological thing I read or heard like a week ago. I don't remember, but basically men actually enjoy to some degree when women get angry. When they're annoyed to a certain point. Like
interesting.
Men enjoy it. And there's some actual like there's like a phrase or some kind of science behind it. But when women get like a little bit like angry, not like fucking like throwing shit, but when they get a little annoyed, I kind of enjoy it.
Really? Why is that? Is it just because it's like kind of spunky?
Yeah, I don't know. Like when like, and I mean a little annoyed. I'm not talking about like fucking angry, but like when people get a little annoyed, like when a girl gets a little annoyed, I'm just like ooh, and I'm like, oh, you so mad? Come here.
Oh, it's like cute because we're tiny and we can't do it. There's just like a little tiny girl. And you're like,
I don't think it's that. There's something about it.
Interesting.
There's something.
Okay.
I read something about it like a few days ago, and I wish I could remember it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little like study, but. Yeah, men kind of enjoy, and I mean that's healthy. I mean, we're human, right? Johan says, "Zia, to answer your question, no, but I'm also 40. It actually made me calmer, more focused, and calms my headspace."
Wow.
Well, yeah, because it depends on who you are. Like if you take some Tren, you're probably gonna fucking you might get angry. That's what shit I'd stay away from. But when it comes to like actual testosterone levels. If you have low T, it's going to make you more emotional, right?
Interesting. Okay.
That's why people will in a derogatory way call men that are like crying and being like beta when they're doing that. They will actually call them low T, like as a slight. They'll be like, "Oh, low T male, motherfucker." You know what I'm saying? Like
because they're more emotional.
Like Jesse Lee Peterson when he's like beta. That's what he does. So like that's the whole point. It's if you have a lower, it makes you highly emotional, and no woman likes a highly emotional man. Come on,
highly emotional. No.
Wait, okay, hold on. Wait, no.
No, we did this already. We did this already, and you were like, I don't mind if a guy gets emotional. It actually makes me feel closer to them. I like it.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean emotional?
Not like overly emotional, but when they open up or share something, if I can be there for a guy, if he does have a moment of where he like cries, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. We've done this though, and you were like, I don't trust you, and I'm like, no,
you're lying
because you did this, you did this exact same thing last time.
This is a lie.
No, I like it. Not all the time.
And you still like getting like bent over by this guy?
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Bend me over, spread my cheeks.
I don't believe it. Because I'm sure we've talked about this. It must have been something important, right? Like an important emotional. I don't know. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, like if my partner did have parents that they liked and they died, I would be.
No. If your parents die, like if you like a man's gonna lose down. I mean, I get it. But like if you're stressed about work and you start crying, I don't expect your woman to be like, it's okay. Your woman should be like, bro, you better stop, motherfucker.
I've never seen that happen. I also don't cry all that much. I cry very rarely. It has to be like built up for a while for me to cry.
There you go. Disparu's giving us some insight here.
I'm just saying like
it was twice.
If it happens a couple of times, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right. It's not overly. That's why
if you
not overly emotional. If it was all the time.
If it was once a month, Zia, would you still like getting clapped?
I don't know. I've never been in that position.
Yeah, well, women do that once a month, bro. So
I don't think I cry once a month.
Vulnerable. You said you have to hide your emotions or he'll cry.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily. Oh my God, that's not what I said. First of all, you're taking words out of my mouth. Taking things out of context.
Verbatim.
Was not that. No, it's. But also, I don't have to hide my emotion. I just keep myself from getting too angry, like revving. Like if I'm feeling very angry, I know how to take a deep breath and just walk away. I can do that until it passes. Yeah, because it always passes. It passes quickly. I don't stay angry for long. Even if I'm really pissed, it's not even a full day, and then I'll be usually fine again.
Yeah, I used to, when I was a teenager, I would get road rage a little bit.
I do get a bit of road rage. Yeah, I yell at cars all the time.
Somebody will do the most outrageous shit ever, and I just take a big breath and I don't think about it again. It's really easy for me.
That's good.
Johan, I've never been an emotional guy. I'm an engineer. So emotional content just annoys me, but I worry less about things I can't change. Yep.
That's good.
I agree.
That's good. That's such a healthy place to be in too, when you can worry about stuff you can't change, because otherwise you're just going to sit there freaking out about it. And then what? Nothing gets accomplished. I've worked hard to get better at that too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very important. It's called emotional intelligence, right? Fear not says, what's up, family? It's been a whole minute. It has, man, my friend. How you doing, buddy? Welcome back. Welcome back. Zach says it's been a while for me to cry. Also, see you in the shower today after all the super chats. I cried.
Okay, but that was overwhelming, and that was a lot of support. I did, but I don't cry very often. Before that, I can't remember the last time I cried. I'm trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, it was very, I'll cry when I get overwhelmed with positive emotions sometimes, because I don't know how to handle it. Because it was like, it's so much niceness, and I feel like I'm going to shut down, and then the tears just kind of come.
Look, I'm not one to talk. My biggest video of all time is me crying. So
I've seen that.
It happens, you know. But mine was a good reason. Okay. It's a good reason.
What was the reason, Cody?
I don't remember. But it was a good reason.
Okay.
Well, it was a good reason. Okay. It was like an epiphany, you know, while filming. Had a moment, right?
I might have to go watch this whole video.
No. My head's really fat in the video. I don't know why. Like I have a circle head in the video.
Were you like bigger then or something?
No, I don't know what the fuck was going on. I weigh pretty simple. Hey, Nick says he's joining. Hey,
he's here. I'm gonna pee. Is he coming in now?
No. Well, hold on. Let me play the music. Hold on. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Officially halfway to Naked Snake, Naked Zia, Naked Nick, Rekieta, McSalman, McAnal Man. He's coming on my face.
Oh shit. McSandman.
He says your face looks a lot less hammered, ass. Good for you, kissing the pain. Thank you. Yes, I looked fucked up the other day, but I feel good. And it's immortalized, by the way. I saw somebody put a clip video up about me laughing that Nick called Eric July like an inbred Camelot abortion something, and it was funny. It was a funny thing. It was a joke, and somebody clipped it, and like I was laughing about it, and I looked It looked like somebody punched me like 9 times in that video.
Is that after your crash?
Yeah, dude. It was wild. Yeah, I get fucked up. Thank you, Big Sam, man. I love you. It's the first Red Boy. It's a rainbow night. Thank you, Big Sam, man. I appreciate you, my friend. That puts us exactly halfway to Naked Zia, Naked Snake, Naked Nick. We are 494 away. Matt Amos says, I'm 31 and have no friends. Emotional. I'm sorry if you to see Cody. No, why you gotta tell people, Matt Amos? What the fuck?
Thank you, Matt Amos. Now I know what to go watch. All right.
No. Thank you, Matt.
Cody, you have so many friends. Did you just make them after you were 31? You make them in the last year?
Yes. No, it was the last 2 years for sure.
Oh, okay.
Last 2 years got me.
Oh.
Last 2 years. Thank you. Madero says, I think Rekieta a lot about coming on the stream. Ha ha ha. He'll be here, I promise. He's coming.
That's why he's late.
Listen, he'll hear Falcor. Where is he? This son of a bitch. Marrero, I love you. This is my friend in real life, Falcor.
Hello.
If you watch the video, okay? I talk about how my friends moved away. You just moved back like 4 months ago from being in the military for like 6 years. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, this is one of my real friends in real life.
Hello, real life, real friend in real life.
Go follow him.
That has real flesh.
Yes. You go follow him on YouTube. He's just started putting out some really good content. So give him some love, Falcor. Damn it. No, unhide the message. Get out of here. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah. So late and gay. Yeah, he is late and gay. Chris Moper says, my grandfather slowly suffocated to death in the hospital in August when I went to visit. He was crying, saying, I'm going to die. Oh, that sounds awful, man. I'm sorry. Oof. Oh, that sucks. I don't even want to like, well, my grandparents passed away a long time ago, but I can't even fathom my parents. Oh God, that'll be the death of me. I don't even know how I'm going to survive it.
I don't like the thought of it at all.
When's the last time you saw your mom?
I was 5. It was the night she died.
Okay, well, you could have just said something different. Like, oh, hold on. See, you could have said, oh, it's been a long time, and just left it at that.
No, it was the night she died. I was 5.
The night she died. I'm like, oh, fuck. See, that's not, I meant you.
You asked, Cody. You asked. You're like, when's the last time you saw your mom? It was that night. It was because it was a car accident, and she was taking my little sister. Her and her friend Pia were taking my little sister and Pia's daughter, who are about the same ages, on a drive to put them to sleep. They were about 2, and she just never came back. The thing that woke me up that night was my dad crying.
Damn.
Like he was on the front porch, like losing it.
Speaking of your dad crying, Nick Rekieta. He's here.
Hello.
We were just talking about our parents dying, apparently.
No, thanks. Great time to bring me in. That was cool.
No, she was like, I can't even think about that right now. And I'm like, oh, when's the last time you saw your mom? And she was like, when she died. And I'm like, what the fuck? You just said you couldn't think about it. I thought that meant she was alive. I forgot.
No, I can't think about it because I already lost one parent. I don't want to think about losing my dad. Yeah, I really don't. Like, it's gonna fuck me up.
I get it now. Jesus Christ.
He's not. I want him to leave California because I worry all the time about him getting fucked up.
The night she died, I'm like,
yeah. Hey, wow, Camelot, you're a piece of shit.
Wait, wow, what'd I do?
Because of that.
Oh, I thought something else happened.
No, well. Let me get the list ready. But no, mostly just that one. Fucking asshole.
Well, oops. Mid-tier man says, take some more money. Where's Nick? I need to make fun of someone's shoulders. Well, there you go.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool, mid-tier man. It's fine.
Guess what? I can military press 55 pounds for reps.
That's pretty good.
3 sets of 7. I've been working on that. Sorry, he said shoulders. I got excited.
That's a little bit more than what Nick can do.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sure it's way more than what I can do. Who lifts shit above your shoulders? There are Mexicans for that job.
Yeah, dude. You could pay. No shit. When I bought my house has a lot of walls, man. And I was like, I wanted to paint them. Go ahead. And I wanted to paint my house. And I was like, well, I don't want to do this because the house, you know how it is. It was built in the 90s. Old people owned it before me. So it's all piss yellow. That. Yeah. Every room's piss yellow.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm going to paint all this, but it would take me months. So I hired like 7 Guatemalans and they did it in like 4 days and it was super cheap. And they were
looked good. It looked good too.
And old Jesse was walking around the house in like booty shorts and like a small crop top. And these little Guatemalans are like, oh, Dios mío.
Yeah, me gusta.
Oh, did you see this white beach walking by? Oh my God, look at her. I'm looking up at her. Look at how tall she is.
I'm constantly thinking about tacos.
My God. Intimidator. You know how wrestler turned actor Dwayne Johnson says he's the most electrifying man in all sports entertainment? I slightly disagree because there's someone who is. They're called electricians. So what the in sports? Intimidator?
Intimidator always comes with the worst dad jokes ever.
My God. So how's your day been, Nick?
Dude, it was wild. I was supposed to be on the Geeks and Gamers tabletop role-playing game stream at 3 p.m. my time. Yeah. And last night I had a show. I actually ended my show a little like kind of in a good amount of time. And then I went to go to sleep and I went to sleep and I like woke up at some point, went back to sleep and I'm just chilling. And I finally wake up. Lady Raggeds is laying in bed next to me, just hanging out, watching Star Trek because that's what she does. And I'm like, oh, what time is it? She's like 4. I'm like, oh, I slept till 4 like p.m. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, damn. 4, woman, I'm supposed to be on a damn show at 3. She's like, well, I didn't know. You didn't put it in the calendar. I told you this. So then I got up and joined that thing. And then we had a family. So one of her our brother-in-law was turning 30. So he had of course, a big birthday party for us to go to. So then I'm like getting off that stream and she's like, I'm sick. I don't feel good. And I was like, what the hell is this? So then I had to go to that thing alone. And I just got back. So there you go.
It's a lot of things.
The night, it was a shockingly short day so far. I mean, I've only been awake 7 hours. And yet, I had to do a bunch of shit and haven't had time to really sit down. But here I am. That's why it took me so long to get here. I literally just got home and went to the bathroom and then came on the show.
Well, we're glad you're here, and we're hoping you tweeted out the show.
I did not. I literally just got here.
How am I?
That's how special we are right now, Cody. That he just got here and sat down. Nick, do you drink coffee?
Oh Christ, no! I hate it.
Wait, you hate coffee?
Yeah.
Same.
What do you do? What makes you guys get up in the morning?
Monster Energy.
I
and
sleep until 4 p.m. Zia.
These were two very different answers.
No, Nick is literally
up at all.
No, Nick is literally on YouTuber schedule time. Like I wake up at like a noon or 2 every day.
Oh, I wake up at 8. I wake up at 8 or 9 every morning. Like 9 is like late. Because if I don't do that, I won't get anything done. I have to run my OnlyFans, which is actually incredibly time consuming. So that's like all day, and then I do YouTube at night.
So cool.
Zia doing her thottery.
I have to do my thottery.
You don't realize how much goes into me spreading my ass cheeks.
I got a surprising amount.
It's like I just tell this story about how I sleep till 4. How do you get up in the morning? Well, I don't know, Zia. Maybe a bullet in my mouth. That's probably how I get up in the morning.
Wait, but you just like wake up and raw dog your day like nothing. Cody at least has Monster. I understand that.
Well, no, I drink. Okay, yeah. Here's the deal. I drink the shit out of these Monster sweet tea lemonades, but I have some mixture. I definitely have narcolepsy, probably have ADHD, so caffeine doesn't do it. So I've had to learn to just like get up and go. And when I wake up in the morning or early afternoon or mid-afternoon, I feel terrible. And then by the time, I've been up for 5-6 hours, I feel fucking fantastic. And then I'm awake, until pretty much until I lay down. Once I lay down, I'm out and done. But I can stay up for quite a while if I don't lay down. I'll have various levels of feeling. And if I start drinking, the liquor helps me go straight to sleep, which is nice.
That is nice. Yeah, dude, I drank bourbon yesterday. And dude, as soon as my head hit the pillow, I was gone. It was great.
Bourbon.
It's a beautiful thing. Mid-tier man says Nick was late because he got invited to another weird Minnesota orgy.
Yes, finally, years and years, and I'm finally in.
I never been invited to weird
those
Minnesota orgies.
Are.
I've never been invited to a Minnesota orgy. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever been invited to any orgy explicitly.
I've never been invited to an orgy either. And you know what? I'm actually really pissed off about that.
Same.
Guys,
no.
we have to do the sitcom pledge.
There you go.
If none of us have been invited to an orgy by the time we're 60, we just have to throw our own.
We'll throw our own. I like this. All right. This is
by the time, wait, who's got it? I'm the oldest. So by the time
you're 60.
By the time I'm 60,
if you're any older, I don't want to go.
Yeah, because if it's me 60, you'd be like 80. You don't want to do that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You'd be deader than hell. Your dick won't even work, kind of.
Right. So next year, guys, when I turn 60.
200 Watt Studio says women that want men that cry is so they can harvest the estrogen.
We use it as moisturizer.
Yeah.
Gross. Just like the cum.
Me.
Use the cum as moisturizer. By the way, speaking of cum, I'm gonna go take a piss and grab another drink. So
Nick, they don't call it a facial for nothing.
Nick and Zia, get on it.
Doggone it.
Wait.
Doggone it.
Yeah.
Get on. Oh my God.
Where's my logo? God damn it.
What a pussy.
We can still hear him.
All right, I'm muting. Go.
What if we just start hearing?
And then he comes back and he's got a little bit of shiny on his face. He's like, I forgot to moisturize.
Had to go get another White Claw.
There's just jizz hanging off of his ear, like in Something About Mary.
So how you been, Z? It's been forever since I've seen you.
It's been so long. I have to update you. A lot has happened in my life. I cleaned my entire house this morning. It was very productive. And I bought a shelf for my kitchen to put pantry things on.
Don't you just have a pantry?
No, I don't have a pantry because I moved. So when I first bought this house, it was Cody was talking about how his house was also piss yellow. Mine was piss yellow as well. This house was it's fucking disgusting. But it was so weird because it was like the people that were selling, because the lady that lived
taking
here.
off my socks.
Oh,
because it's irritating. It was cold here today. It's like 40 degrees. Sorry. Go on.
That's cold as balls. Now you're kind of making me want to take my socks off. It's getting hot.
Well, I'm taking off my shirt and my pants.
Oh, well, you don't say. No, my house was yellow, and it was weird because it was like the lady that lived here beforehand died. And so that's why the house was for sale.
Yeah.
And the people that were selling it were like her estate, obviously. And I think that they painted over the walls with yellow. And they thought that was going to be a good idea because the colors underneath were fucked up. Like there was this fucking old German lady, and I don't know what she was smoking, because one wall was like Christmas red, and then another wall was green, and then there were various colors of salmon, and then one room was bright pink that they sort of tried to paint over with a gray. It was fucking wild. So I had to sand and spackle and paint every wall in this house. My sister-in-law helped me, and it took us like a month. It was insane. But I also, because everything was disgusting, I ripped out all the closets, and I rebuilt the closets where I keep my clothes, but I haven't done the pantry closet yet.
I gotcha.
So,
okay. Yeah. This is the first house my wife and I have bought that we did not paint every wall. Well, bought or moved into that we did not paint every wall immediately. Upon moving in, because the color scheme was actually relatively modern.
Amazing.
And the previous owners were somewhat wealthy and had a little so it wasn't like the cabinets in my kitchen are not modern, but they work, Yeah. And so like the walls all looked pretty good, but the last two houses were like that, where it was like we wanted to paint everything. In the last house was a fucking nightmare because they had a couple rooms where they just painted over wallpaper.
No, they did that here too. They did that here too. And it was a goddamn nightmare to take down. A fucking nightmare.
Yeah. I had to sit there. I had to use this fucking like one of those yard aerators, but for the wall. I had to go over all the fucking wallpaper because it wouldn't peel off. It was the best wallpaper job in the goddamn history of the United States. And then I'm spraying like that wallpaper glue solvent all over it, and it still doesn't come out. So I'm like ripping it up and scraping it off, and it tears all these gouges. I had to redo I didn't have to redo the drywall, but I had to mud the whole fucking wall where the wallpaper was, because it was just destroyed everywhere. Oh, I was like, what is wrong with people in the fucking 70s and 80s? They would do that a lot. They would wallpaper over, and then they would paint over the wallpaper when they regretted it, because wallpaper is always shit. It's always bad. It never looked good. And then they would just lay down shitty carpet over the most beautiful hardwood floors on the planet. And you're like, what was the greatest generation? Just the greatest retards? Like, what did they do this for? Why couldn't they figure houses out? And then you have to go fix it. And all I wanted to do was bash my head into the sink until I died.
Yeah. And that is what homeownership is.
Yeah. There was one room in my entire house that had like wallpaper, and it's my piano room, and it's like this like gold kind of accented wallpaper, and I just left it because it looks all right, and ain't no way in hell I mess with that shit.
No, fuck it. If you don't hate it, don't take it down, because it's a goddamn pain in the ass.
No,
it really is.
But you're right. Like my stairs, like my stairs in my foyer, my master staircase, is just all carpeted, so I fall down it fucking once a week because it's slippery. Because it's like I'll have socks on and I'll hit the first step, just bust my ass, fly down it. And I'm like, it would be so good if they're like capped off with hardwood.
Well, yeah, because there's no reason for carpet for any, like, I fucking hate carpet. Carpet makes no sense. When we first moved into this place too, the upstairs was it was green. It was green carpet, and it smelled like piss. And I am convinced that either the lady had animals, or because she was old, she was incontinent and she was pissing all over the place. It was disgusting.
Oh,
so gross.
The one thing about carpet that's nice is a big enough room gets real echoey. And the type of flooring that you put down as a replacement in Minnesota can really matter, because it gets so cold in the winter. So and you can't, Like you could do a heated floor, but heated floors cost astronomical amounts of money if they're electric and not geothermal.
Yeah.
They cost fucking insane amounts to do. That's why it's always like a bathroom or whatever. But we have our master bathroom is heated, and we have this 4-season porch at sunroom that's heated.
Nice.
When we first moved in, they were on all the time because they're cozy. And I got our first electric bill, and I was like $950.
Oh my God.
For electric. And then I got and I was like, oh, it's probably that old lady doing something who lived here before. And then I got the next one, I'm like $950. And we moved in the end of November. So the first electric bill was for December and the second was for January. We have a heat that's run off of natural gas. So $950 in electric in the winter in Minnesota is, I mean, way too high. And then I called the electric company. I'm like, I think I got a problem with the meter. And she's like, do you have heated floors? Like, yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, you should look up how much those cost to run. And it's like for each square yard costs as much as like a 1,500 watt power supply computer per hour.
Jesus.
Like,
that's insane.
So when you have several feet. So the floor I found that was the best, we replaced a laminate floor that got super fucking cold with cork. And a cork floor stays really warm, and they look cool and they're soft. It's weird because they don't look like they should be soft, and they don't. They're not clacky and loud. So cork floors are pretty cool, and they have cool designs. So
did you look how cold does Minnesota get for this chat for you? This chat.
Wait. People who don't like carpet are weird and don't have winter. Yeah.
I have winter. I live in New Jersey. It is winter. I still hate carpet. I like a nice rug.
Yeah.
How cold does New Jersey get? I know you guys get snow, but how cold does it get?
It doesn't get that cold. I will say, if I was to move somewhere with a winter, I could have done a lot worse because it's pretty moderate here. The coldest I've ever experienced in the 2 years that I've lived here, actually almost 3, this is my 3rd winter, is like 18, 19 degrees.
Oh God, yeah. We will have at least a week out of every year where the whole week it doesn't get above like -10.
Yeah, no, it's never that bad. And mostly that was just like a couple of days. Mostly it stays between like 30 to 50.
Yeah, it's fucking unreal how cold it gets here in the winter. It's bad.
I've heard my great grandpa actually used to live in Minnesota, and he would send me he'd come and visit, and he would send me shirts that talked about how cold Minnesota was. Like I remember he would send me, I forget what it said, but it was like something about negative degrees in Minnesota. I had t-shirts of it, and he would come to Hawaii to visit with his one eye. And I don't know why he lived in Minnesota, but he did.
Dude,
I don't know why anybody lives here. It's awful.
I forget it exists until Nick mentions Minnesota. I think the lowest it ever got here was last year. It went to -12.
Whoa, that's pretty cold.
Yeah, in Alabama, and that was pretty cold, and that was like the coldest it ever got. But speaking of cold, we were talking earlier. I wanted to talk about this with you, Nick. So I don't know if you've seen this, but the director of Robin Hood, the like reimagining of Robin Hood, where it's like Robin with a Y.
Yeah,
it's this black girl that lives in like an apartment complex, and all of her friends go, and they basically
a black girl in an apartment complex. Very original.
Yeah, and they basically every single person in the show that's like not poor is portrayed as like a bad or an evil person, and like the motivations don't make sense. It's not like the original Robin Hood. It's basically just like authority figures are bad.
Yeah,
cops are bad.
And the director was
I like it
making like statements saying that everybody that downvoted the video are racist. Like what do you think about that?
It's true.
Everyone who downvotes it are racist. Yeah.
The problem is they keep trying to make us more racist by making black characters in pop culture suck and be awful and be like, they make them so insufferable because everything's a fucking mission. I don't know if they've ever actually met and hung out with black people, but not everything is like a mission of reparations and restorations. Most of them just like are normal, like people who wake up in the morning and are like, well, gotta go get my job, my malt. Well, like that's what I do. They're like, gotta go get they just gotta go to fucking work, right? Because they gotta get up, go to work, come home, pay rent, try and have sex with somebody, and go to sleep, just like everybody else on the fucking planet. And then you get these characters in these pop culture shows, and it's like, no, I have to wake up and think about inclusivity and remember my ancestors who came over on a boat owned by a Huite man that were then separated. And somehow I know this story, even though there were no records specifically kept with last names, but I just do. And then I have to figure out why, the adding cream to a latte is actually a metaphor for distilling the black bloodline of my African Nubian ancestors into the whitewashed lukewarmity of a modern American non-jungle hopping slave descendant. It's like the dumbest shit on the planet. It's like, this isn't how anyone thinks. Why do you people do this to them and make us hate people? Like, I just want to go and laugh because real black people are just loud, which is the funniest thing on the planet. And in shows, they're never loud. They're always like quiet and introspective. It's like, they're not quiet and introspective, especially in groups. They're extrospective, which is funnier. Just be real about who everybody is, and nobody will care what you're doing or what characters you put in. It's that the characters have no integrity or honesty to them. That's why we hate all of it. That's why you can't stand it, because you see it, a show is like, oh, Robin Hood. Wow, I bet this person who lives in an apartment complex and has no discernible skills, talents, or experience is going to somehow overcome all of the adversity in the world and fix racism and systemic oppression and economic realities, like just because from her apartment that she couldn't manage to get out of on her own, despite any number of opportunities to do so in this fucking country. Rant off.
Yeah, that's basically mirror. That mirrors what I said. Like it's so silly that there's this like reinforcement of teaching like culture that authority is bad and you'll never make it out of it. And it's like, everybody, if you turn the TV off, if you were born right now to like parents, a mom and a dad, and you did not involve yourself in social media nor turn the TV on, and you went throughout life, like, there is a high chance you'll be, to a degree successful. But the thing is people turn on the TV, they turn on Netflix, they turn on Hulu, and they watch shit like Robin Hood, and they portray authority figures as bad, and they make it to where you will never make it. Hey, by the way, if you look like this woman, you will always be a victim and you'll never make it. So why try? And then people get stuck in this. It's so bad to where, like, if you're like a youth that lives in an inner city and you're interested in reading or interested in like learning, even your friends will like clown the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue. It's like you said, Zia, it's cultural, like
become a cultural thing. Yeah.
It's always like rich people are bad. People that focus on finances are bad. People that try to better themselves are bad, and authority is evil. And I'm like, that is only going to ever end with you in prison if that's how you live your life.
Well, and this is starting to permeate to everything. Now people can't stop writing articles about how working out is fat phobic and racist. I've seen both articles, by the way. Like, those exist out there in the world that are telling you that you're racist if you exercise because Black people are disproportionately bigger. And if you want to be in a smaller body, then you somehow hate those people. It's the most bizarre shit I have ever read. So it's now bettering yourself in any way, not just financially, but your health is becoming not okay, because again, we're looking at people of other races and sizes and being like, oh, well, that's going to make them feel bad.
Not to pick on Sizzle Chest, but F you from all apartment people, and the
I Sizzle Chest,
which is right. Here's the thing though. So in story, and particularly in visual stories, and most particularly in visual stories with time constraints, television shows, movies, etc. Everything has to be symbolic. And I know, like, people are like, well, no, literally everything is symbolic. There's shortcuts to the exposition you don't get. When you read Game of Thrones, you'll have 40 pages of exposition about like a dress or whatever. And it's why George R.R. Martin is someone that people love or hate. They really like these very detailed descriptions of characters and places and scenes. When you don't have that, you have to take shortcuts that go straight to cultural short circuits in a brain. An apartment means poor. An apartment in reality doesn't mean poor. It might mean you live in New York. It might mean you're single and you don't need a big place. It might mean any number of things. But an apartment for a Black character in a visual medium in America means lower class of wealth. They are oppressed. The system has held them away from the joys of home ownership, and that apartment is a metaphor for reality. So it is showing that not just this Black character, but all Black characters who you should be thinking of, unless they're specifically delineated in a specific way, are poor or underclass. That's everything. And seriously, when you go and start watching through these, and these things have changed over time, but go and start watching through visual medium, go back to the 1950s, for example, and watch those shows where you weren't allowed to actually like have sex or nudity on screen in any way. The kissing with the fade out scene meant anal. Like that's what it meant. Right? You just go straight to it. And then as things progress and you go through decades, and you'll find these memes and tropes are representative of various things. Trust me. Main character being Black and being an apartment means poor, underprivileged, not set up in some way. And that's a trick to all of this. I know you're joking with me in the chat, but people often misinterpret that. And I forget that since I'm a dumb retard who took like a bunch of film study shit, that these metaphors aren't always like obvious because again, they're not designed to be overt. They're designed to short circuit to your prejudices. Yeah. They know the prejudices and they're playing on them intentionally. So, and when you're spending $1 million to $2 million an episode producing something, everything is intentional in that 30 to 60 minute spot. Every single placement of everything is intentional. Nothing's a mistake. So when you see something on a shelf in the background, intentional. Just remember that. And almost all of it's metaphor for some gay vision that they have to try and trick you because they don't have enough time. They've got to get to your emotions because emotion sells stories no matter what anyone says. And when you have an 800-page book, you have a lot of time to get to emotions. You can build up characters. You can build up themes and ideas. It's a rising tide, like the mythical female orgasm until the final payoff. But in shows, you got 30 minutes. In commercials, they do it in 30 seconds. And think about the commercials that you've seen with like the stupid fields and bullshit for every fucking prescription on earth. Like they're evoking certain emotions. They're short-circuiting your brain into all of it. And it's a really cool craft when you start to like observe how they do it, especially when they do it effectively. But most of them are bad at it. They just kind of learned it in an advertising class. But anyway, that's me. I guess stop talking about this shit because I'll talk about it all year.
Yeah, it's I watched a show recently I watched a movie called The Block, I think, or something. And it was like an alien horror movie. And it was literally mirroring what you said. Like it was like there's this group of like Black youths. And they're like it starts out with them like robbing people. That's what they do for fun, which just fucking sucks. Whatever. Attack the Block. Thank you, James. And then they end up like having to like fight these aliens, and they like kind of go through this character arc. I thought the movie kind of sucked ass, but it was an interesting idea. But anyways, the whole like they lived in this apartment complex, and they were perceived as like ultra poor. And I think almost all my friends, with the exception of one, lives in an apartment complex, and they're all really nice, like, and they're like high class apartment complexes. So I don't really, it's always been a weird, and like you're right, every time it's in like popular media, apartments mean poor.
Yeah. I mean, I have investments in this investment trust, and I get it. It's a property trust. And I get updates every year about what they're doing. And one of the buildings is a building they own in a major metro area. And I mean, these are apartments or condominiums, however you want to call them. And they start at like $3.5 million for them. You know, they're fucking huge. They're perfectly appointed or whatever. And just to be clear, before everybody gets weird, I don't own that trust. I own a tiny, tiny percentage of it, which is just like a normal like investment amount that you can own in something, because everybody takes this shit wrong. Like if I owned the trust, I would have millions and millions and millions of dollars. But
he would not be here with us, is what he's trying to say.
Oh, no,
I wouldn't be slumming it here with you idiots.
I 100% would. It would be even funnier. But no, it's but yeah, like you there's tons of different apartments and quote unquote temporary housing. The old American dream is gone. You'll see articles all about it, like the American dream is over, where you had to go own your own house. People don't do that anymore because some people have been indoctrinated into thinking they want to live in a 5-minute city and walk everywhere. It's like, well, that's fine until you meet Somalis. But yeah, it's So that's a Minnesota thing.
Not the Somalis. That's a Maine thing as well in Maine. Yeah.
Dude, they have like Minneapolis. When we moved to Minnesota, we moved from Houston, Texas, in 1991. And in 1991, Minnesota had, I think, 63 murders. In 1991, Houston, Texas had 63 murders in January. Now, what is the murder rate in Minnesota? Murders, we're not Chicago level per year, Minnesota. In 2021, there were 201 murders. So in a period of 30 years, you've gone from 60 to 201. I mean, that's fucking triple.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
You're like, this is not why we moved here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so are you saying the Somalis are to blame? Is that where you're going with this, Nick?
When you go look at crime issues in downtown Minneapolis, you start to see that like there was violence over the 4th of July where people were shooting fireworks at the police in the streets. That was a group of Somali kids. When you find out a kid was thrown off the 4th level balcony at Mall of America at random, it was a crazy Somali guy. There's tons of Somalis where I live that have no criminal issues at all. But the Somali population in Minneapolis has gotten very fucking terrifying, and they make the downtown and surrounding areas scary to be in at night rather than funny like it used to be. Now it's actually weird, and you can watch videos of people just getting knocked out or guys getting jumped by little gangs of roving youths or whatever, and it's always youths, and then you see their names and they have 700 consonants in them and a Muhammad after a hyphen. Like it's.
So this is happening in every city is what it seems like. This is happening in New York. New York City is getting really bad. Chicago's getting really bad. I am seeing this literally in every single city.
Yep. It's
Minnesota took in a ton of the Somali refugees through the in the early 2000s, I think it was. It's become scary because of that, like this refugee population. And to be clear, again, lots of Somali populations are just fine, but the more of any population you get, the way the numbers skew. Now, it just so happens that the crime in Minneapolis is very, very dependent on the Somali population, the crime economy, we'll say. But again, out where I live, the Somali population is really cool. I like them. I hang out with some of them. I go eat at the restaurants, and we don't have a bunch of stabbings and knockout games, but we live in a small town.
Yeah, it's like when you look at just 10 years ago, Sweden was considered to be like a utopia.
Mm-hmm.
And they had their refugee like thing where they let in thousands and thousands of people, and by the statistics, Sweden went to like the top of the list in like sexual assault. Like over in 1 year, they went from, it was the most dangerous country on the entire like planet based on percentages for grape. And it's because people that there was no one in the country doing it before. It was like a handful of people, and then all of a sudden they had 700 in 1 year.
And the other problem is, especially in Sweden, they weren't allowed to call it out or police it or anything. Like you couldn't say anything about it. And then you'd have the fucking weird Swedish women victims who were like turbo cucks at the same time, being like, well, no, it's not their fault. It's like, no, the guy who raped you was his fault.
What?
I'm pretty sure. Dude, they were apologizing for I guess I kind of deserved it. I'm not sure that's how it works.
Doing what the weird dudes on the internet who do, where they're like, well, what were you wearing? They were doing that to themselves.
Yeah. Well,
essentially.
This came at a time where like it was more important to be morally like just in public than to actually protect your family.
No, absolutely not. I think it was Patrice O'Neill, and I'm pretty sure this was his bit, and it's
I never
a
realized
fantastic
how
bit.
Fat that guy was, but yeah, go on. Say.
Well, I think it was the Beatus that. Well, I mean, I don't know if it was
the
biggest that got him, but it certainly didn't help. Yeah, he was a big dude. But he had a bit, and I'm going to butcher it, but the gist essentially was he would rather be seen as racist than dead. He's like, if I see two white fucking skinhead looking dudes coming at me, with their heads shaved, I'm going to cross my ass over the other side of the road. He's like, I'd rather be alive than be, seen as, or I'd rather be seen as racist and alive than dead. So like he did that really well. And That's how I feel about it. I don't give a shit.
That's actually really funny because all those like 19, 20-year-old like college girls that will go on trips to like North Africa to prove it's safe and then end up dying like the first day they're there. They end up dying.
I won't even go to I won't even go to Mexico. And I know that people are like, but
that's not, I won't even go to Mexico. What's like, well, that's not like saying I won't even go to like England. Like that's
well, but a lot of people go to Mexico all the time and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go to Cabo. I'm like, no, that's fine. I would like to, but I know better. I'm too small and I'm too white. Absolutely not.
Nope.
Did you go to any foreign countries as like a teenager? Sia?
No. When I first graduated high school, the guy that I was with at the time was Australian. And so I went to Australia twice, but it's Australia.
So I went to Mexico a couple times as a teenager, and I went to Paris as a teenager. I went to Paris when I was 15. Mexico would have been 16, 17, or 17, 18. I don't remember exactly the years. And it was the same in all of them, actually, though. Paris was normal French people who are also weird. But depending on where you go, they told all the girls the same thing. No tank tops, no shoulders could be exposed. And if you have blonde or brown, but not black hair in Mexico specifically, like you wanted to put it up, you didn't want it down and long, and you wanted to kind of keep an eye on things because like it sounded so like racist because they're like, look, they just don't have that around there, and guys will be like, these men won't be able to handle they'll come up and touch your hair and brush you. And it's like, well, that seems like kind of bigoted or whatever to assume that no, they did like crazy. Even in fucking Paris, like these girls are walking around and we're all high schoolers, and these guys would come up and they just start fucking groping their hair. And I'm like, well, that's what I do, but you're French. Like, you can't do that.
Are there not a lot of blondes in France? I'm surprised.
I don't know. I think it was just because it's France and they're fucking weirdos in general. But the Mexico one was the exoticness of pale white women with either blonde, red, or light brown hair. And but like I think that has a lot to do with what goes on with the sort of immigrant issues is. It sounds like the bigotry of low expectations, but it plays right fucking out when it happens. And so you throw these guys into this land of Sweden. And if Swedish girls had been going on a mission trip to Somalia or Ethiopia or whatever, they would have told them to protect themselves. But since these were immigrants and asylees coming in, they're like, these are wonderful people. You don't have to protect yourself. And they all got raped.
Yep, that's exactly, and that's just what happens. And by the way, somebody in the chat said, Bird Dog says she's scared of a little skinhead. She was saying Patrice O'Neal would be because he was a black man.
Because
Helena,
that
was the joke. Helena with a super sticker. I love you. We love you. I told the story about you slow dancing with Helena one time. It was funny. Thank you, Helena.
Me?
Love you. Yeah, I was up. You don't
remember?
All right, I don't remember. Yeah, it was.
I do remember. It was in Vegas.
Yeah, she's great. She's a good person.
Helena and I were cool as shit.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome because she disagrees with 100% of my opinions on everything, but she's still my friend, which is funny. Thank you, Helena. Love you. Intimidator said, since Nick loved the last one, here's one I got inspired by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Recently, a travel agency guy asked me if I wanted a pamphlet on trips to Japan, to which I said, bro, sure. I don't know what it means. I don't get it. That's so dad.
Fuck yeah. You don't get it? No. A brochure, pamphlet,
oh
brochure.
My God. All right.
Come on, Cody. Fantastic, Intimidator.
Thank you, Intimidator. I appreciate that. That was terrible.
I loved it.
Trent, my boy, says, bruh, how you doing, my friend? Helena says it was over 90 today.
Woo!
October. Jesus Christ. That's
wild.
It was like 60 here. I went, me and PDH went and got some ice cream in my R8, and I was standing outside in booty shorts, and it was fucking cold.
Ice cream.
So fucking jealous.
So good. Matt Amos says 30% of people provide 15% of the things we can walk for humor. What do you mean 13%, Matt Amos? DV8 says, why do you have to be weak when we have serious issues? Thank you, DV8. I appreciate you. He's talking about you, Nick, and your shoulders. That's what he's talking about.
Really? That's it?
Like the hit show, good times. By the way, like the show. We're 200 likes from the goal. Thank you, Shadow Goth. I appreciate you, my friend. Fire PA says, Nick started off with a small load of wood. Oh, Helena fires back, says, I disagree with 69% of what you say.
Yeah.
Thank you, Helena. I appreciate that. And here is a big one, and it's Psycho Crusher. Oh my God. We are closing in. Says Nick, after learning how hard you worked nonstop and barely sleep, I will now recognize you as a fellow Asian, despite being a hanger. A PS, I'm going to follow you in Camelot and Locals soon. Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
follow all of the boys on Locals. Locals is a great app. It helps us out a lot. And that puts us barely, I think, 290 from Naked Snake, Naked Zia, and Naked Nick. Thank you, Psycho Crusher. I appreciate you so much for all your support. You're goated. First pink boy in a long while after Billy Hatcher and Mick Anal Man's Red Boy. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, dude. But no, it's getting wild as hell. And we were talking about this earlier, how the people are starting to complain about it, Nick. Like there was that very popular clip where it was a Jewish woman at a town hall in New York, and she was complaining about these things to the mayor of New York, right? And he called her a plantation like owning redneck or a racist, and she was a Jewish lady.
Nice.
You know what's even worse about that is that, so the mayor, are we talking about, am I thinking of the right one? Mayor or Governor Eric Adams? Is that who it was?
Eric
It was black
Adams,
guy?
yes.
Yeah, it was Eric Adams.
Yeah.
His whole platform that he ran on was being tough on crime and talking about how he needs to get crime out of the city. And then and then of course, like the fact that he said, no one should have believed him. It's not at all surprising that, he completely went back on his entire platform, but that was what he ran on, was being tough on crime and finally getting the crime out of the streets of New York, because it had gotten so bad during the pandemic and blah, blah, blah. And he won. And of course he does jack it about it.
Yep. That's how it works, because when these guys get in office,
he got the votes.
When they get in office, none of that matters. It's all talking bullshit to get voted. The only person to ever do anything that was like even remotely was similar to what he was trying to run on was Trump. And I know everybody, hates Trump, but I think he was a little bit cut from a different cloth when it came to like, politicians versus, an eccentric billionaire. But
he's a different type of weird, that's for sure. He's a funny type, though.
Yep.
Like him or hate him, at least he's interesting.
Very entertaining.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier. I mean, if politicians actually did anything that they were supposed to do, which I don't believe any of them do, then 80% of people in the country that wanted the IRS abolished, that would be abolished.
Yeah,
the 90% of people that support term limits for people in office, that would have been passed. What is it? The Congress has an approval rating of like 12%. Like the vast majority of people believe a certain way, and if it goes against the interest of people in politics to not be able to amass wealth, people shouldn't be able to go into politics wanting to be millionaires. No. They should be able to go into politics with a decent salary, and their motivation is to change the actual government, local governments, state governments, the federal government for the better, but they go into it wanting to be millionaires. Like every single politician goes in with a net worth of like 40 grand and comes out with a net worth of 100 million in like 20 years.
God, I know it's so bad.
How?
So mad I did blackface.
What? Well, I think you could still get away with it if you were in Canada.
I'm not a Democrat. I can't.
Ah, shit. Now you're screwed. Sorry, Nick.
Isaac Desmoro?
Desmoro.
Oh,
I don't know if that's it. I'm just guessing.
Desarmo?
I think Desmoro.
No, Desormo.
It's not delivery. It's Desormo.
He said, "Bro, it's 60 in Houston."
Desormo.
Graping weather. Hold on.
That's true. When I lived there, every time the weatherman's like, "Well, it's going to be 60 degrees tomorrow," and you know what that means, boys. Breakfast is on the menu.
Sounds like a great day for a grape. Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate that, dude. Oh my gosh. Charlie, my boys, like the military press, all three of you also working 12-hour days, 6 days a week. It's freaking tiring. Crime is so bad in San Francisco. 7 Starbucks closed. So other stores, I don't get why they allow crime. Look at Walmart, $3 billion in theft. $3 billion. You know where 98% of that came from? One city in California and one city in New York. And also, I think Portland was a big one.
You know, the worst part about that is that then these communities complain about what's called a food desert, where there are no grocery stores for that. So people in those neighborhoods don't have access to be able to actually go grocery shopping and get food. So they call them food deserts.
Right.
I wonder why. Oh, why don't grocery stores and convenience stores want to be open in neighborhoods like that when you find out they have been and they close every single time because of the massive amount of theft and robbery? It's so insane that they just can't seem to put two and two together, and it goes back to being racist. But that's
it's not that they can't put two and two together. It's that they don't care to. Like if you say that crime's an issue, you might lose support from your base, right? Because like look at it,
because they're all fucking criminals.
It all comes full circle. It all comes.
Keep them in. This is great for us.
It comes full circle to the Robin Hood. Like we're
gonna crack down on drug dealers, murderers, and arsonists. Oh shit, I'm all of those.
Yeah,
I'm not voting for this guy.
Yeah, it comes full circle back to the show Robin Hood, where it's cultural to be like loot, rob, and steal, and and any authority figure is bad. And like and that's why they always repeat the same thing. They're like, the 1%, the rich are bad. But what they don't draw a line in the sand on what that actually means. People say they want the rich to pay taxes. Everybody that doesn't pay into federal tax or whatever, they all say this, right? They want the rich to pay their fair share. What do they consider rich, Zia? They consider anybody making over like 60 grand rich now. It's not even like, it's people that barely can afford ends meet, like to make ends meet are still, they're considered rich now. Like anybody paying into taxes is considered rich.
Well, also you think about people who have high paying jobs, right? Say someone makes, say they make $300,000 a year. That's a good paying job.
Yes.
If they're not self-employed, if they're not owning their own business, they are paying a lot in taxes. Yeah. And also, even if you do own your own business, you're still paying a lot in taxes. Yep. If you like a lot, trust me, I know. If you listen to, I don't know if you've ever listened to Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about this a lot. There are some people who have figured out how to not pay taxes. They've gamed the system, and I'm not mad at them. I get it. I'd fucking do it if I could figure that shit out. They figured out how to legally not pay taxes. And he talks about this a lot. He works with his accountant, and I don't know what he does. He has a lot of debt, but he somehow doesn't pay taxes, but he has all this fucking money. It's a bit over my head. I've tried listening to, sort of get some insights into this.
You best believe that I wouldn't, dude. If there was a way I could click a box and not pay any taxes, you best believe I click that bitch. People
can hook you up.
Yeah.
You said that like it was such a drug deal.
I can hook you up, bro.
I know people who do tax planning for like generational wealth families, and it's really hard to pay no taxes, but there's a bunch of cool things you can do that become
that are completely legal, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
there's a bunch of cool things you can do to basically it involves debt, property ownership, depreciation strategies, and then also placing a whole shitload of money into life insurance products and stuff like that, where you make capital available and then you borrow it against yourself, but there's no it's tax-free withdrawals effectively. There's a bunch of stuff to do that. Most people don't find out about it because to even start hearing about it, you have to have something like $250,000 in liquid assets available. Not, well, I own a house worth this, but in actual cash just sitting around in a able to be used before people will even start talking to you about it, because you have to have enough money to sustain your life while dumping all this shit in there. Yeah. So when people talk about like a disparity between the rich and the poor's ability to make money, it's true. But also, if you're poor trying to get into these products, all your money is going to be tied up and locked away, and you don't have enough to make it useful. Sorry. So that's why I don't talk to you. But I know people who do all kinds of this strategic tax planning. And yeah, it's usually very legal, but there are caveats that some of the stuff they try is novel, and the IRS doesn't even know if it's illegal yet. They haven't decided. So it's a fucking mess, but it's it's interesting to learn about. For those of you who don't know my backstory, yeah, I'm a lawyer now, which means I'm retarded. But before that, my background is in banking, finance, and real estate, on both the retail and investment sides of all of those things. So I have lots of experience in those industries, and I know a shitload about tax law and stuff like that because of the people I hang out with, because we're gay. So
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's
yeah.
That's the thing, is that the people that are for taxes, which I can't believe there are people actually for taxes.
They don't pay trust those people.
100%, Nick. People that are for taxes do not pay into them. I have literally seen like Bernie supporters in real life that got like a 60, 70K year job. And you best believe that I have one friend in particular started making 70 grand a year. And he got his like tax bill in after doing his tax refund and thought he was going to get a refund. That motherfucker went from the 1% are destroying the country to taxes theft within one day.
Yes.
He gets a Gadsden thong.
Yep.
Out there with a flag. No! time to water the blood. Water the tree of liberty with the blood of tyrants.
Do not tread on me. Mid-tier man says Mayor Adams is trash. Best mayor we had was Giuliani. Second best was Bloomberg. Thank you, man.
That's so funny because I don't know that much about it. I'm not from New York, but my husband is. He's from Brooklyn, and he talks about that all the time. Giuliani came in, cleaned everything up. He fucking did a phenomenal job. Everybody loves Giuliani. If you don't, you're an idiot. And then people like Bloomberg, because Bloomberg came in and basically just kept up what Giuliani did. All he had to do was come in and not fuck anything up, and he did. And he kept things going the same way. And then that's literally all that the fucking last guy had to do, but he couldn't fucking do it. And now Mayor Adams isn't doing shit.
Yeah, it's it's like that. What at least it's what was that one guy? I think he was the governor. He was like he was telling people that if you get vaccinated, we'll give you'll get some free French fries. And he's like eating them on the broadcast, and he's like, who doesn't love French fries? And he's just eating fries. And I'm like, awesome. Somebody needs to hit this dude with the bus. Like, fuck off.
I can buy French fries for fucking $3. I'm not like, what the fuck?
Who do you think?
That's your 1% wealth there. Jesus.
Who do you think?
Like, my EBT card doesn't work on French fries. I'm very jealous.
Who do you think you are? Like, you think you're gonna buy like these people loyalty with some French fries? You think we're all obese? Holy shit, bro! Like, what the?
Well, they also did it with donuts. I actually had a friend who they got their vaccine and then went and got donuts afterwards, and I was like, oh, okay,
it's fucking crazy,
dude.
Man.
It was I think it was Bloomberg who did my favorite thing as a New York mayor, though. They passed a law against having your car run on idle because of the smog and shit like that. Yeah. So you couldn't have your car just running on idle. So, but his limo, he had it parked there on the side of the road, and from his, his apartment complex, did a fucking extension cord running out to an air conditioner unit, the freestanding one, hooked right into that bitch's windows. Right into the window. He's blasting the AC into his own fucking window with a portable AC unit while it's sitting on the side of the road. And I'm like,
that's genius. That's absolutely genius.
You motherfucker, I love you.
He's not a hypocrite. He was like, well,
he just found a workaround based on the law. Inshallah. So cool. Say I left a mentally disabled woman in the Canadian wilderness. If she perishes, would I be on the hook for negligent homicide?
This is obviously a question for Nick.
No.
Look, I'm not familiar with Canadian law. The particular situation has a lot of crazy facts around it. It depends on the wilderness. It depends on the actual level of mental incompetence of the woman. If there's diagnoses, it depends on the status of the person leaving her out in there in the woods, what their actual knowledge of it, if they're actually a caretaker and stuff like that. I wouldn't be saying any of the stuff that's being said online in this circumstance, but there's a lot going for criminal liability. I don't know. Again, Canadian legal system, I can't really speak to too much. Civil liability. Yeah. I mean, if the farmer who, traded off that potato, has some interest, they could probably have a civil suit, out of the current fact set. But as for criminal, I'm not positive.
That's wild. Speaking of wild, Kristen McGough has come in strong, boys. With a pink boy. Hot diggity. Damn. This is irony. European countries sent representatives to Morocco after all those grape stats came out. They agreed to not report on ethnicity of grapists. Days later, a Norwegian and Danish girl traveling through Morocco were gang raped. My God, bro. Like I said, it is more important to appear morally superior than it is to survive. And
no, thank you.
Yeah, it's like expecting.
Call me racist. Cultures. I'm not going to those countries.
I agree, and like I would. You can call me racist all day. I'm not going down Tuscaloosa Avenue or Martin Luther King Avenue in any.
Never city. Go down a civil rights activist avenue or drive.
No.
I've also
Martin
been
Luther
told
King
this.
Drive. Yeah.
Not happening.
Cesar Chavez Boulevard. Nope. Don't go there. Don't.
Nope.
Don't go there.
Thank you, Kristen.
You do not want to be that guy.
Kristen McGough with a pink boy. I love you. DV8 with a gold boy. He also said with the gold boy after he's not. If he's going to talk shit, he's going to pay us because he loves us, all three of us. And he's like, even though we are, he's trying to save us from commie land or something. But I appreciate you, DV8. I love you. Thank you. Don't forget. Let's go up. Charles says Chicago is trying to open government-owned stores. Wait, didn't commies have that? That worked great in Russia.
Ooh.
I'm sure Bernie will be happy. Isn't that what the ABC store is?
Svetlana knows this is bad idea. She has lived in Russia a long time. Do not recommend. 0 out of 10.
I don't think ABC stores are government owned.
Are they? Are they not? I thought they were.
I don't know what kind of ABC store we're talking about here, because in Hawaii we have
the one in
ABC.
Hawaii.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't think those are way too nice to be government run. Those are like fancy 7-Elevens.
ABC beverages.
I used to go there and get like ice cream and pie sometimes.
It says Alabama ABC beverages, Alabama ABC board.gov.
Oh, okay. Wait, the ABC. So municipal liquor stores are different than what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, government-owned liquor stores. They get to compete because they're liquor stores, and when you have the municipal liquor stores, you're usually not able to have competing private ones.
Right.
Like Minnesota, they have cities can make municipal liquor stores. They're not required to. So you can have private liquor stores like around me. They're all privately owned. But where I grew up in Lakeville, it was all Lakeville Liquors, and they were all owned by the city. And they had special tax issues and stuff. And once they pop up, you don't get to have a private one anymore. So ABC Liquors or ABC Beverages in Alabama is government, probably municipally operated. Whereas the ABC stores that Zia and I are talking about are for cool people who have been to Hawaii, not for rednecks who don't know what they are. Those are convenience stores and they're privately owned.
Yeah, they're just fancy convenience stores for all the tourists, and you have to pay like a lot of money for, like, you go in and you're paying $5 for a bottle of water, but tourists pay it because they're in Hawaii. So.
So the ABC stores I'm familiar with, they are so cheap. Like you can get wood for like a big old freaking handle of wood for like $29. Whereas if you go to like the liquor store down the road, it's like $80. It's freaking crazy.
It's because they get a massive tax advantage since they're government owned. And that's why they open them. It sucks. I mean, it's cool that it's cheaper, but it sucks in general because I just prefer private ownership of everything.
Yeah. Smoking Patriot says, I used to work at Walmart in Florida. The company has a strict no confrontation policy with shoplifters. Saw shoplifting on 2 occasions personally. Yeah. I remember I was a district manager for a contracted out company that was eventually bought by Walmart. And they would basically just walk around and watch people that they were like suspicious of. They would watch them, and if they thought that they were doing something, they would just call the police or call their AP people. Like they didn't talk to them though. And in any retail environment, there's definitely, you're not allowed to eat. If you can't even mention that shit, or else you'll get fired. If you try to stop a shoplifter, you'll get fired.
Which honestly I get though, because really these people are equipped with a walkie-talkie and a taser. And you want them to stop shoplifters on their way out. They could get stabbed. They could get shot. They don't get paid enough. It's not worth it. The risk is too high. I understand from that standpoint.
Well, they give completely like conflicting like training on this, because they'll tell you when you're a manager, for example, they'll be like, we want you to run this business like it's your business. We want you to be passionate because this is your money. This is your business. Although I'm seeing no profit margin at all, but still, that's how they want you to run it. We want you to be a leader. we want you to do all these things. And then they're like, also, by the way, we don't want you to ever confront people that are stealing from you, or else you'll get fired because this isn't your business. And I agree that you should never confront people, because don't take it personal. Walmart's not your money. There's people every day getting the shit kicked out of them because they confront people in Walmart. I'm like, dude, you don't see any of this profit. Let them fucking walk out. Fuck these people. You know?
That the technical legal aspects of shoplifting are legitimately, even if it's obvious that they're about to steal something, the shoplifting doesn't occur until they walk out of the store. So the other problem is you don't have cause to stop someone on the suspicion of shoplifting unless you have monitored them from the entire time that they removed an item from a shelf and either place it in like a pocket or something like that. If you lose sight of them at any point, they may have removed the item, and you no longer have sufficient cause to sort of effect a detention on that. You have to actually witness it. Now, a lot of these stores, like if you look at the fucking network of cameras they have in a Walmart and a Target, and especially if you've seen the back rooms, and they have insane telephoto ability with ridiculous clarity. They actually can monitor someone walkie-talkie to a security officer and tell them that they've seen them the entire time, and they can track all of their movement. They can do that. Most people who are working in a retail store are not in a position to do that, because you'd be following someone around like my friend Daryl used to do to the girls in the computer department. But yeah, you don't.
No, dude, you're not lying. So we used to go into the AP like room every time that there was some kind of issue. And I went into AP rooms all the time in different Walmarts, and it looks like a spy movie. Like they have like a million monitors, and there's like 2 people monitoring them all day, every day.
Are there porn on like 8 of the monitors?
That'd be great. But no, like it's
only in the family restroom.
Yeah, it's wild, man. So yeah, they're all over that shit. Thank you, Marrero, for your fries. Appreciate that. He wants some fries. Not me. I never got vaccinated. Now, I didn't work anywhere, so I never got vaccinated. And also, I live in Alabama. So everybody watched TV, and they were like, there was actually a weird period where half of my chat was mad at me. I don't know if you guys remember when it first started, but it kind of was like kind of even, right? There was like 50% of people were like not vax, 50% were vax, and they would get mad at each other. And then it, like, as time went on, it was like 90-10.
Dude, people forget that the authoritarian right was all for vaccinations, government lockdowns, and the craziest shit. I remember one of the scariest things that happened in early COVID was Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky, who's a Democrat. There's this older guy who went in for something, and he left the hospital. He was discharged and told he could leave. He didn't even know he was COVID tested, and he got a phone call, and he was ordered to stay in his house. And they posted police outside this guy's house to prevent him from leaving.
Holy shit.
He's like, what the fuck? I don't have COVID or anything like that. I've never been tested. They wouldn't turn over his medical records to his attorneys. It was this crazy thing. And I actually went on a stream to debate a guy about this, who was very much on the right. But again, that authoritarian right, that segment. And he's like, nope, this shit's crazy. People are going to be dying like crazy. And we got to lock people down. I'm like, so wait, if this guy walks out of his house, what should happen? What should the cop do? Shoot him. And I was like, whoa, he's not sick. Nope, he should shoot him. Too dangerous. That was the right, not Democrats.
I agree. Yeah.
Not anything like that. That was when the states were locking down. That's where they were. And I love Medicare, but Medicare was talking about how bad he thought COVID was going to be. And he wasn't wrong. A lot of people died and shit like that. But people were taking like those types of reports and predictions about the amount of deaths, but then going that extra step and saying, therefore, we must lock everybody down. We must force them to do this. And I'm like, guys, I thought we were for freedom.
Yep.
No, you found out a lot weren't.
I remember when it first, a lot of people forget this, but when it first started, I remember one of my friends, like their parents are like super conservative, and they were like basically like screaming at the top of their lungs for like all their like grandchildren and like, cousins and like to get vaccinated immediately. They were like, they were the ones that were all for this shit. It was only after, Trump was out and there was like this giant, really strong, like weird, like basically a football team on each side. Only when that came was it more like divisive, like based on party lines. But when it first came out, I remember like anybody that I had friends that had older conservative parents were freaking out, wanting everybody to be vaccinated, like held in their homes, all that shit. I remember it.
I think because when it first started, I was too. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was actually scared at first because I was like, oh shit, is this going to actually be a real thing? This has to be bad if they're locking everybody down. You can't go anywhere. Like I was working at a restaurant at the time, and that obviously all got shut down. It was like a really weird, wild time, and nobody really knew what was going on. And so I'd, watch the news, and I wasn't going outside, and nobody could go to work, and everything was just done. And everybody was standing in line to go in the grocery store, and they're only letting a couple of people in at a time. People had t-shirts wrapped around their face. I was living in LA. It was like a freaking apocalypse.
Yeah.
And it was for a while. I was like, this is actually kind of scary. And I think it just scared people because no one really knew. And it was only over time where people were like, okay, this might not be as big of a thing as we thought or as they made it out to be.
Luckily, being in Alabama, it never mattered. Like no one talked about it here, and it never was a thing. Yeah, it was just a thing here, and no one cared. Like I think in Walmart, they wanted you to wear a mask in Walmart, but I never really went to Walmart because I hated it. So I never really, none of it really ever. The only time I wore a mask is when I had to get on a plane. That was like the only ever time. Other than that, no, I never. I went to Vegas. I went to Vegas during the height of COVID. Like it was like 2 months after. Like it was on the news and they had the death counter and shit. I went to Vegas and no one had a mask. No one.
Wow.
No one gave up.
Different in LA.
Yeah.
When we went to Dick did a live show down in Ybor City in Tampa, and everybody was there. Ybor was like Tampa was like, or Florida was like one of the last places that was open. Everything was open. The beaches were open up until right before that. And you didn't have to do masks. You could go in and out of everywhere. And it was like fucking Liberty Day. Like we're all just out there was like throwing our masks off, like women taking their bras off in the 60s. We're like, oh yes, give me that freedom and liquor and cigars. Oh, it was so perfect. God, it was amazing. Like you didn't have to do shit. And it was and everybody's just like walking around having the best time. God, it was good.
It's a weird time that people that I feel like people really forget like how it did get really fucking strange for a while there. And there was people I'll never forget. I was on, and people want you to forget this, by the way, but I was on Twitter back then before I got banned off Twitter. And dude, there were a large amount of people that thought that if you did not get vaccinated, you should be put in a concentration camp immediately or charged with crime. And it was, and this is when it started becoming more like identifiable between party lines. Like after a few months in, if you were like liberals were saying that you should be arrested, and conservatives were start like very strongly against it. So about 6 months in is where it started separating. And it was really weird. And people claim that never happened. There was people in my chat the other day claiming Australia never had quarantine camps. And I'm like, bro, what? Are you fucking kidding me? And I had to pull it up and show them. And they were like, well, I mean, they only had a couple. And I'm like, what do you mean?
They never had them to just a couple.
They only had Auschwitz. Like, oh shit. I can't believe it. They only had one. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Speaking of one, we are 137 from Naked Snake, Naked Zia, and Naked Nick Rekieta. Closing in on the end here, though. We're closing on the year because we did start
waiting for the end to come. Sorry,
closing time.
Oh God, no!
Turn all of the lights. Okay, hold on.
Do you guys remember when they would play that at every bar when it closed? Yep. Oh, now they still do that shit.
That's one of those things that's never gonna go away.
Please
I'm texting my Nick because Nick, you're making me want saltines like a motherfucker. That's what you're eating, right? Yeah. No, it's okay. They're so good. I forget sometimes, and then I realize like they're so good. Like every once in a while, you just have to eat an entire sleeve of saltines in one sitting.
God, I love
earlier, like I said, I woke up late, and then I had to get on that stream, and so then I messaged my kids. We have like a family Facebook chat, and I messaged them. I'm like, somebody bring me snacks. I need snacks immediately. So my son just comes in with like all this different stuff, like a sleeve of saltines, a sleeve of Ritz crackers, get a little mini sleeve of graham crackers. He gave me some golden Oreos, little golden Oreos packs right here. I'm like, thank you.
So cute.
Brought me a yellow monster. Oh God. Oh, you're the best.
I remember I used to have this roommate, this tiny little goofy ass girl. Dude, she would bring me so much shit. It was the greatest shit ever. I'd like text her and she'd just bring me whatever. There she got him. She got him. Powder K. Craig says, "Have at you, snake." Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you, Powder K. Craig. Rebound with 5. Whatever the hell this is. 5 things. 5 somethings.
Euros, dude. It's just Euros. Euros. That's what that E is.
Oh God. Well, the other one looks like an E too. It says, "I'm Finnish and our press hasn't mentioned race in years. They say a man from Helsinki, and I frown to myself and ask, what is
Helsinki?
Helsinki. What did I say?
Helsinki.
Same thing. Sounds cool.
Zelensky. That's what you said. You said
yeah,
Zelensky.
That's what I meant. Thank you, Rebound. Oh, you already know. I remember, dude. I remember back in the height of the Zimmerman days, where if it was a dude that was not black, it would say a white man, and then they would just change the contrast of his face, and it would be like a straight up dude that's like, "Oh, que pasa?" And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, they made Zimmerman, the like half Hispanic, half white dude, into the whitest guy they could possibly fucking find.
Yeah.
It's like, why is he wearing a salmon shirt? I thought it was red. No.
Nope. Thank you, Rebound.
Just crank that shit up. It's amazing.
Charles says, "I have a strong immune system, so I never worried about dying from it, but I have that it is what it is mentality." Yeah, I like I said, being from Alabama, I never cared. And I was like, if I die, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. And then it was very, very apparent, like 3 to 4 months in, what everything was. Like, it didn't take much. It did not take much. When I noticed that, like, every single politician was like, do it now. And then I looked at how many of them had like long-term positions in like Pfizer or Moderna, and I was like, no, not doing that. Nope, You ain't get me. Sorry. That's all it took for me. And the fact that every single politician and all their extended families were completely exempt from the government mandate on COVID vaccinations. And I was like, nope, not doing that. No, I'm not involved.
Amazing how they work that shit out.
Yeah. Elephant says, "Echoes." Hey, how you doing, Elephant? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back, as always. You're always here. I love you. Appreciate you. Oh, Elephant with the duck. Appreciate that. And ADDF says, "Just a reminder, y'all, Canada now has its First Nations premiere. First Nations premiere. What is that?
I don't know what that means.
Canadians.
Okay, First Nations is the native tribes, indigenous peoples.
Oh.
Because you got to change like the accepted term every couple years to freshen it up and make it more like woke. So now you get First Nations peoples, because First Nations implying anything like a nation at all existed amongst indigenous tribes in the North American continent. It was fucking insane to think of, but okay, we'll just take it. And holy shit, you got pink boys coming out.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. It's like they all conspired. No, like, what is that? Like, every other year, it's like indigenous. Now indigenous is not okay anymore. I don't know.
I remember it was Native American. First it was Indian, then it was Native Indian, then it was Native American.
No.
What was after that?
No, first it was savage.
Oh, yeah.
Then it was noble savage.
That's noble savage to you, sir. No.
Then it was sucker who doesn't understand property. You want these beans? 3 raccoon hides? What for? Wyoming.
Yeah. Like, okay, that is fine. It's like, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Speaking of not know what it's about, these pink boys have went mad. Mad, I tell you. Matt Amos! He says, if we're going to start songs, country roads take me home to a place I belong, West Virginia.
I love that one.
Mountain Mama. Matt Amos, take me home. Thank you for the pink boy. Matt Amos jumping on board again. He's not afraid. Don't forget Bob the Elder. Oh my God. He's got was it Edgar Allan Poe? Is that guy right there in the picture?
Yeah, with aviators.
With the aviators, yeah.
With the aviators. Says, at my age, I'm a year younger than Nick, I decided it was a bigger risk to take the vaccine than to not. Now I feel like I've been more than validated for that decision. I agree.
I got it.
You bitch.
You got the vaccine?
I did so that I could do radio in New York. Otherwise, they wouldn't let me in the building. And I was like, I guess, fuck it. I guess I'll just do it. I don't necessarily know if I regret it yet. But I'm definitely annoyed.
I just thought you got injections on OnlyFans. I didn't know. I kid.
It's like, why is my discharge brown? That's fine.
That's fine. It's whatever.
Actually, I think, the negative side effects predominantly, if I'm not mistaken, tended to hit younger adults, late teenager and younger adult men who are actually in relatively good physical health, right? Like, isn't that where they've seen the biggest increases in those numbers of the things we're not supposed to say?
Shocking. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're 27. Oh, wow, your heart exploded. I have no idea what that could be.
Who doesn't do that?
It was like, I read that statistics and it was like, scientists are perplexed as to why professional athletes deaths are up 1,700% in the last year. And I'm like, well, I have no idea.
I could think of something.
Why are they all having cardiac arrest? Like,
I'm more just annoyed that I had to do it. And then when they were like, get the booster, I was like, no.
Yeah.
You get that shit away from me. Speaking of getting boosted, AC drafting. Oh my God, he's on fire. Like button feels neglected. Get after it. We are 130 from the like goal, boys. 130. Thank you, AC. I appreciate you. And we can't forget.
Hit it like a disobedient woman.
Yeah, fuck them. And speaking of disobedient women, Psycho Crusher. My God, it's a red boy. And that is Naked Snake. Naked Zia. Naked Nick Rekieta. Blew my last super chat for the week. Now quit teasing and bring us Naked Snake. Thank you, Psycho Crusher. I love you and I appreciate you. And also, I got to shout out Mudbug on Rumble with $100 Rumble rant. Says, y'all are fucking awesome. Thanks for keeping me company. Thank you, Mudbug. I love you. Thank you, SC Medic. Appreciate that. Thank you, Psycho Crusher. Mid-tier man says, NDG knees nuts, Canada. Thank you, mid-tier man.
I'm going to start my show with my shirt off and have a shirt on goal.
That's what you should do. That'd be perfect. Charles says, I live in SoCal, so all the mask BS just annoy me. People still wear plastic gloves and masks. I also never vaccinated. Fuck them. No. You want to know what's funny? Guang, what's up, dude? I went into a meat market, an Asian meat market yesterday for the first time in my fucking life. And it was a tiny little hole in the wall place, like down a little bit from my house. And I walked in, and it was like there was tons of Asian people there, which is, I guess that makes sense. There's also other people there, but now, to be fair, I don't know why, but it smelled awful in there. But it smelled like rotten ass. But I went in there, and there was Asian people everywhere, and there was like a few white people and like a black guy, and there was like two like fat white women with like pink hair, and they had masks on. And it's so funny to me, if you are wearing masks and the Asian people around you are not, you're doing it for the Asian people actually do that shit in their countries, like culturally, and you're still wearing a mask. That's when they're doing it because they're doing it for like to appear some kind of moral or to appear like they fit with a group that they're trying to identify with.
Why do they always have pink hair? They're ruining hair colors for me. I want to dye my hair pink and I want to dye my hair purple. But now the only thing people think of when they think of that is a big fat lesbian who's like a social justice warrior. They've ruined the fun colors for hair.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
When you said Asian meat market, I just thought you were getting a massage.
Oh, I wish. That's a Vegas thing, bro.
I was going to ask, have you ever done that?
No, I wish. I am gonna, man.
I want to try it one time. I'm so curious.
You want to try what? The happy ending massage?
Yeah, I would love to.
Same.
So I was talking to Lady Raggets about this the other day because I was just thinking about it, and I was like, I can't think of many massages I've ever gotten where I would have wanted a happy ending from the person giving me the massage.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. Usually
they're not like hot. I've had two like really hot massage therapists. One like, over, I don't know, fucking 20 years of getting massages with relative frequency. But the rest of them have all been relatively hideous.
Was it tough to have a super hot person massage you? Like, were you like down boy, or it was just you're fine?
No, I'm fine. Like I have narcolepsy. I fall asleep about 95% of the time getting a massage. Like I'm just out. It's great. But
yeah,
no, there's there's a website that I found on a forum. Someone mentioned it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's called like RubMap or something, and it's actually yeah, it tells you where all of the jerk off massage places are. And so I put in my town, and they had 2 of them. I don't know if they're still active, but you have to like pay to see like the secret words or something. And I was like, well, I'm not paying. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, they were both like these 2 Asian places in town. I think one of them's closed now, but I was like,
I wonder why.
Yeah,
it's basically, guys, if you go and they're like the massage place open until 11 p.m. That's the one. That's the one where you get jerked off. Like
they also always have the sign that says we do not do sexual favors. And every time I see that, I'm always like,
that you do.
You don't,
No,
do you?
that's just
Tell me what the word is.
I just want a small Asian lady with just like no fucking like no expression. Just
I was gonna say though, but you don't like Asian lady faces. How are you gonna?
That's the funny. That would be the funny.
You don't
part.
like Asian lady faces?
No,
doesn't like Asian lady faces.
Looking. They're weird looking. Nick Bob says my stick is Edgar Allan Poe hipster. It works because it's me with that logo. That's what I would do. Do you always need your brand? Charles says let them color their hair, Zia. They're like bugs. Colors tell you what's poisonous and not. I'd rather know if they're poisonous women or not. I agree with that.
But what happens if I just want to dye my hair pink and then you're like, oh no, she's a SJW poison lady. And I'm
Zia,
like, no, I just like pink hair.
Zia, you're like 36. You can't do that anymore.
Why? Why can't middle-aged, like almost 40-year-old ladies dye their hair pink? That's bullshit.
Because it's weird. All right. Speaking of weird boys, I need you to do me a favor and I need you to like the show. Give it a good old-fashioned updoodle. We are 120 from goal. Follow my alt channel that is starting to actually do really decent, pop off a little bit. It's there for a backup channel. Give it some love. Then there's also daily content 2 to 3 times a day on there. Give it some love. And also, it is the 223rd Naked Snake in a row. Joining me is Naked Nick and Naked Zia. What did you say you're going to do, Zia?
I'm gonna put a bikini on, and then I'm gonna put a big t-shirt over it and do a little strip when you do your.
Yeah, go get your shirt on. Go.
Okay.
I gotta go wash my liquor glass, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. You know what? You gotta wash your liquor glass.
Yeah, it's I need to wash. It's gross.
I don't know. It's just such a particular thing.
I want to drink liquor, and my glass is dirty.
Oh,
Cody,
okay.
it's
it
not
just sounds kind of like, hey man, I'll be right back. I got to go cut my toenails on my right foot.
I just need to wash my liquor glass because I want. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Go wash it. Do it.
Inshallah, Allah Akbar. Israel will fall today. We will bring the justice of Muhammad. We're coming for your wives, your daughters, to uneducate them.
Alfarius Omegon says, if you're still going to Tokyo, go to a blowy bar, cheap beer while you get your millimeter tweeter suck. Some allow foreigners. Some allow foreigners. That's good. Thank you, Alfarius. I appreciate you. A blowy bar. It's so weird. Thank you. Appreciate that, my man. The blowy bar. Lori Elizabeth, how you doing, baby? You only have one glass. I have like 100. Nick only has his one. He likes his one tumbler glass. It's very important to him. Make sure you guys like the stream. I want to give a shout out to so many people that support your boy and Zia. Don't forget these people. They always pulling it out for us. I appreciate you guys so much. I don't deserve this shit, but I'm forever grateful. Billy Hatcher, Kristen McGough, my boy. Thank you. Mick Anal, man, my son. Thank you so much for all your support. Psycho Crusher, my boy. Kristen McGough, always flexing on me. Matt Amos, Bob the Elder, AC Drafting. That's a pink ass knot, by the way. And Psycho Crusher. Thank you guys. Those are Pink and Red Boys, and a lot more. A lot of support today. Insane support. I appreciate you guys. It's time for Naked Snake. Who the hell's Doug Bell? That looks actually, his face looks really familiar. Stream is depraved. Oh, you best get ready, because the stream is about to get way more depraved. Zia, you gotta put your headphones on under your shirt, so then you can slip it off and your headphone stays on. Future.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've thought of things. I used to do that when I had earbuds, but now I use these big old fucking things, so I gotta take them off.
I was using those before, but I don't like them because they're so big.
Doubt it.
Said no girl ever. Said no girl ever.
Doubt it. Thank you, Ben SC, for your locals dono. I appreciate that, man. He says Eric Adams is ex NYPD. Said he was nothing but a bitch, as former colleagues said. That's interesting.
What a bitch.
What a bitch. What
These
a
peppers
bitch.
are so amazing right now. This is like I'm so happy.
My God. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll do that. Amazing. Where did the bitch Rekieta go? He went to wash his liquor glass. So once he gets back, we're going to do Naked Snake, and then we're going to raid the Flash cast. Make sure you guys like the stream. We're 90 away from 800.
Oh, I liked it already.
Appreciate that. Liking your own show.
Yeah, you gotta like your own show. If you're not gonna like it, then how is anyone else gonna like it? I forget who told me that. It might have been Matt Amos. Someone told me that though, and I was like, you know what? That is an excellent point, and I will like my own shows from now on.
Dude, I do it. I do it all the time.
Hey, fuck yeah!
Oh yeah,
That's one extra like.
I do it. I'm all about that shit. I like it all. It's narcissist. I'm a narcissist. Yeah. I gotta like that shit, bro.
I'm trying to become more like a narcissist. I want to hate myself less. I want to like myself more.
You gotta become your biggest fan. No, dude, man. The funniest thing is, I was telling my friend today. I was like, man, my alt channel is starting to do really well. It's like closing in on passing my main channel in views, and I'm like, I'm kind of like conflicted and don't know how to feel about that. And she's like, "Are you jealous of yourself?" And I'm like, yeah. Like the ultimate narcissist. You're jealous of yourself.
That's amazing. Like, you're jealous of your own other channel. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's really get to that point, Cody. But like, I feel like there still has to be a healthy level of self-hate, right? Like, I need like just enough to make sure I keep doing good and keep doing better.
Yeah.
But I need to love myself enough that I don't hate myself as much. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it took a long time. This other channel, I've been posting daily on, sometimes multiple times a day for 6 months with nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And I think finally the algorithm was like, oh shit, this dude's posted 300 videos in 6 months.
Maybe we should show it to someone.
Yeah, maybe we should see what happens. And it worked out. Like one video, as you saw, went to like 100K in like a day, and then it's going to hit 200K probably in 2 more days. It's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Zia, your bikini sucks.
I have a plan. It's going to be better.
She has.
I'm just kidding.
I have a plan.
All right, boys. It's time for the 223rd running of Naked Snake. Joining me as per usual on Saturday is Zia, and of course, Nick Rekieta. It's going to be a lot of fun. 70 likes from the goal. And Bob the Elder says, by the way, I met you and Nick in Nashville. Y'all are great dudes. Zia's hot as hell. I'm drinking a glass of Lagavulin 16 to y'all right now. Hell yeah.
Hey, thanks, Bob the Elder. Great to meet you, buddy.
Thank you, Bob.
You guys
also, fuck you too. That's all I'm saying. Fuck you too. That's right.
Why? Is it because Lagavulin 16 is great?
Fuck
no,
you too,
it does nothing.
You too.
No, you two up here, you asshole.
What I do?
I'm just eating crackers.
It's what neither of you are gonna do. That's what's pissing me off.
What are we not doing?
You're not coming to Chrissy Mayer's comedy show here in Minnesota.
Oh,
y'all
Minnesota.
Minnesota. It's the 21st, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be in Orlando.
Why?
Because my yearly like YouTube mod meetup is in Orlando.
Have it in Minnesota.
What?
Nobody wants to go to Minnesota. There's no one
for.
You do that weekend. It's gonna be fun.
Got it.
Because like the comedy show's on Saturday in this like little whatever, but I'm pretty sure some people like maybe me are gonna be in the Twin Cities on Friday night, and it's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because if you're going out with me on Friday, because you can't like any other day sucks, but on a Friday it's fun. I'm getting some bullshit, but no, you guys are gonna be sitting around doing your stupid Naked Snake or whatever.
I'm gonna be sitting in my room making no noise, pretending I don't exist.
That's what Zia does. I'm like,
why
hey,
don't
Zia,
you come to Minnesota?
And she's like, no,
because I'm poor right now. When I pay off my debt, I will do things.
She always says that. It's code. It's code.
I was on your show, Zia.
Nick, I had $57,000 of credit card debt in March.
It goes, wait, what?
Now it's down to
oh, okay. I thought you said you gained that much in March. I'm like, wait, what did you do? What did you buy?
No. Well, sorry, not all credit card debt. Partially credit card, partially taxes that I owed on top of the estimated taxes I already paid, by the way, because I did. And so once I dig myself out of that hole, I will do things again. I promise.
Yeah, and you do it. Dig yourself out before you guys suck. See, by the way, that's what I said. Fuck y'all.
I agree.
2 weeks, Nick. I'm sorry.
Fuck
I let you down.
Up the bikini goal. Get to work.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But I do hate y'all both. Do you think that would work?
No.
Wait, what?
It might. I might pay for that. Zia or Psycho Crusher says, "Can you tell Drex to stay away from Chinatown? That guy's putting our chicken feet out of stock." Damn. Thank you, Psycho Crusher. I appreciate that. All right, boys. It's that time again for Naked Snake. 223rd time in a row. Like the show. Do what you need to do. Because it's time for degeneracy. Hope you guys are ready.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, dude. It's that time again, boys. Get on it, doggone it. I appreciate you guys so much for joining the Camel Thought episode 3 every Saturday. I race next Saturday, though, but every Saturday after that, well, we won't miss one for a while, for like 6 months. So
won't miss October 21st because you're a bitch.
Here we go. Popping the ears off. Thank you, Tristan. First one.
What a thrill with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching, now melting to
Here we go, boys. It's that time again. Thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys ready? Here we go. Let's do this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. My God. In my time, there been nobody else. Amazing. Cry. It's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. You guys ready? Here we go.
Camelot's college name is Snake Eater.
Someday you feed on a tree frog. It's a trial to survive.
223 in a row. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are goated. My God, I give my life, boys. Not for honor, but for you. Appreciate you guys so much. Amazing show. Thank you, Zia. Thank you, Nick Rekieta. Look at Zia's tummy. It looks so nice.
Oh, I feel like I ate so much.
She's like, I ate too much candy corn, bro. I can't do Naked Snake. And I'm like, dude, come on.
I did
You
never
look better
said
with that piercing.
I got to get the piercing.
Wait, on the belly button?
Yeah, belly button.
God damn it. All right. You didn't have to repeat button, okay? God, baton. Sounds like you're saying like baton, like what you think you beat like people with when they
No, it's button. Button.
Okay. All right. Baton.
No, button.
I noticed the chat slowed down, guys, when the shirts came off. You can type one-handed a little faster. Come on now.
Don't let those sexy shoulders distract y'all.
Here we go. You guys ready? Oh my God, he's on fire. Thank you. I appreciate you. Count Tecula said, I knew that this was going to turn into a musical.
And with the free people of Israel.
Thank you so much.
All Jews people.
They're called the chosen people.
Oh, I had a Rumble joke there. I had to hold that one in. Okay, cool. Come on.
Oh, we got a few super chats that went ham as hell after they saw Zia take her clothes off. Marrero says, I love you, Zia, and Cody, you must share it with her. You guys are great. Even Nick, I guess. But what, Zia? You have an OnlyFans. Do I get super chat discount? Love you guys. Thank you. I do share it with her. I pay her. I pay her a red boy every week.
He sure does. And then he gets all excitement on my stream, and it's very lovely and nice. And he also pays me in friendship and candy corn pictures.
Yes. Yes.
Candy corn pictures is just what Cody calls dick pictures. It's comparable.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but
thank you, Marrero. Rekieta says, does the mod meetup include Rumble mods? It could. You're more than welcome. Just send me a message. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Morero says, everyone just be zoomy zoom on Zia.
Hey,
zoomy
wait, you
zooming.
piece of shit. God.
what about there are shoulders down there? Morero, you fucking sweet little gem. You. Oh, don't do that. Oh, God. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Amazing. Oh, my God.
I like the way my boobs look in this top.
Same. I agree.
Hey, there's a mod on your channel who didn't hear shit about this fucking meetup until today.
I mean, you're more than welcome as well. I just didn't know if you wanted to be around a bunch of autistic people.
No, I have 2 prior engagements. 2. One of them I'm doing. One of them I'm missing. Third one is fuck you. Oh, I'm so pissed. God, I'm so mad.
We hang out like every other week at some like thing. Hey, fuck you, man. We just saw each other in Nashville like a week and a half ago. It's fun.
All right. God damn it. By the end of this year, I pledge to be out of this so that the next meetup, you guys know I want to come. And I've never meet either of you guys in person. This is crazy.
Me and Nick meet each other all the time.
It's been a blast every fucking time.
Yeah, this year has been easily the best. I tell people that all the time. This year was easily the best year. Like freaking Vegas, dude. It was great. Vegas was legend. Thing of legends. It's awesome. Speaking of things of legends, like the show, we're 50 away from the likes, but we are gonna raid the Flashcast today. Oh, yellow flash! It's gonna be a lot of fun. We almost broke a record. We got 7 super chats away from 100 total super chats.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Well, 6 away. Thank you, Marrero. I appreciate you guys. And we blew Naked Snake out of the park again on the Zia stream. Nick's shoulders just get me crazy too much. That's why I can't watch.
I know. I know.
I get it, Marrero. I get it.
So delicious.
It's the freckles. Yeah.
Please, guys, make sure you do me a big old juicy favor. Favor. If you're here, Sonia, I see you right now. Please post Zia's channel right now. Everybody follow Zia Land. Her show is fantastic. I watch it every other day. A lot of fun. Nick was on there recently. It was really fun.
Very fun.
Great show.
Cody has also been on it. Thank you, Nick, by the way. And thank you, Cody. Thank you both for coming on my shows. They were legendary shows. Yes. Legendary.
Legend. And don't forget to follow Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in Minnesota.
Especially because he does stuff like that.
I saved that for Cody's show, though. No degeneracy on my show. Only serious topics and never a racist joke to be found.
Except
I believe that.
When we used to do the Friday show, me and Nick did a Friday show for like a year or like 8 months, 9 months. And every time we'd switch over to Rumble, it would like we would come on screen and I would just be like F slur immediately. Every time.
Inward.
Oh,
I'm saying inward, like going inside, inward, pointing towards the middle. Geez, guys, stop it.
Yeah, I agree. Look inward at self growth. Look inward.
You're just being nice. That's actually very good advice.
Yes. I appreciate you guys so much for coming on. Nick, appreciate you. Zia, of course, she's obligated to be here. So
he does tell me that he'll drive up here and murder me if I don't come on the show. So I guess I kind of have to.
Yeah, I get real aggressive. I'm like, well, who's our guest? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, I'll kill you and myself. Thank you, Marrero. Appreciate you. Thanks for all the laughs. Love you. Appreciate you, goated as hell. We are going to raid the Flashcast. Give him some love. I hope he's still streaming. That'd be really weird if he wasn't. I'm going to make sure just in case. I'm sure he is. He's probably reading the same super chat for the 18th time. Yeah, he's still alive. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. We will see you Monday on my show. I have a new video coming out where I uncovered a lot of fraud, which I don't think anyone's talked about or seen yet. So hopefully you guys see that video. It's been pretty interesting to watch. And of course, daily content on my channel every single day. Follow Nick Rekieta on Locals. Follow Zia on YouTube and OnlyFans. And make sure you subscribe here if you have not. And please tweet out free Camelot. Hashtag free Camelot, because I'm still banned. Still banned on Twitter. Get the hell on it. Doggone it. Appreciate you guys so much. Bye, everybody.